She's in. Can you hear us, Tracy? Tracy, can you hear me?
Yep.
God, I thought it was me again. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another Saturday night of Shadow Whispers in the Night. And tonight we're going to do a roundtable talk. Anything is open. The floor is open to whatever you want to talk about. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of paranormal, new experiments, locations, and literally anything else that we want to talk about. So we have Brian from Huntophobia tonight with us. We have Tracy J from Afterlife Research Team. We have Jeffrey from Crossover Research, and we have Rega from Scotland's Paranormal Investigation Group. Did I say that all right?
You said it fine?
Yes. So how's everyone tonight? How's everyone tonight?
Fantastic.
A bit tired. No long into work.
I get you.
Getting there.
I get you. There's Roger. Hi, Roger. Roger always watches. Hi, Roger. Hope everything is well. And we have Chris. Hi, Chris. And we have Humberto. Hello, everyone. And we have Anthony. Hi, Anthony. So, Tracy, you okay? You can hear us okay? Tracy, hello.
Everyone keeps freezing and going off.
Are we? Are we all okay? We should be all right. Okay. I'd like to start off.
See, we're gone again.
Am I gone?
Nope. I see.
Okay, I'm good. I'm okay. So, who would like to start off? What would you like to talk about? Because the floor is open. The floor is open. So,
well, since it's your show, why don't you start, and then we'll just follow your lead.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Am I wrong, everyone?
And Eric. Hi, Eric. Eric's here too. I'd like to talk about the do's and don'ts of paranormal.
That's a big can of worms right there.
Yeah.
No, I know.
You got to be more specific than that because we can go all over the place.
Can I leave now? Can I leave now?
No, you're not. Do's and don'ts. Let's talk about the do's first.
Okay.
So I would think do's, going into location, respecting the location, respecting the owner, respecting who is in that location. Anybody want to go on about the don'ts?
Well, why don't we stick with the do's for a minute here?
And then we'll do the don'ts.
I think you're definitely right on that. Obviously, when you arrive at the location, when you're leaving, it should look the same. I find that I've been to a lot of places where people have been previously, and you see a lot of crap lying around everywhere. And I guess that's a don't, but do's, definitely being respectful to the location, the owners, the place. Everything you said, I guess. Definitely a do. Unfortunately, there's a lot of teams out there that don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of do and don't.
What about you, Riga?
Pretty much the same. As yourself and Brian was saying there, you definitely need to respect locations. It doesn't matter if it's an abandoned location, a private location, a home investigation. Also the owners, and also respect the spirits as well. So a lot of respect in the paranormal field. That's definitely the do's for me.
And yourself, Jeff?
I have a rule of thumb, and it's treat it like you would your grandmother's house.
Aye.
Or going to a friend's house. You know, you're not going to stick your feet on the kitchen table at your grandma's house. You're not going to go run amok and, destroy the place. You're going to come in, you're going to say hi, you're going to respect everything. And like you said, you're going to leave it the same way. So I treat locations like I do my grandma's house. Well, she's passed away now, but going to visit, family members. You're not going to disrespect your family members or your family's family members. So why would you respect the location and the people in that location, whether they're deceased or living? It's just a rule of thumb. You don't disrespect other people's stuff.
Yeah, it's like when you walk into a coffee shop, you don't go in there and start yelling, you know, and who's here? Who's here? Is anybody here? You're not doing that kind of stuff. So why would you do it in a location? You know, one thing I've noticed and I've seen a lot lately, not necessarily on Facebook, more YouTube than anything, people going in and provoking. Which to me is a huge no.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot lately, and I don't know where these people come from, where they think it's okay to walk into a location and provoke something that is there or what they believe is there. I don't get it. Like, I don't know if anybody other than Jenny, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my videos. The first thing I always do when I start an investigation is to introduce myself and everybody else who's with me. I think it shows a sign of respect. I think I was raised properly, whether it's towards the living or towards the dead. That I always introduce. Everybody knows that I do that. And I would honestly say 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get more of a response than you walking in and ordering them what to do or what to say or turn on a light or kick the ball or whatever you have going on. You're going to get a lot more respect that way when you started off right. I think that's in that respect, I've been lucky with a lot of the places that I've gone that I have gotten responses. And it's because of the way I've walked in and respected the place, you know, and I think you're liable to get more responses doing it that way than what a lot of people do. And people get pissed off and walk out of a place and they've spent $900 for 7 hours and haven't gotten anything. Well, guess what? Maybe it's because of the way you walked in and disrespected everybody that was there. That's my opinion. So I guess we're on the don'ts now.
Do's is just, I think the do's is just common sense, common and knowledge, and basically don't be an arse. The don'ts is, again, another one. Don't be an arse.
And you know, and with saying that also, I think if you're going to act that way, and if you're going to go in that way, act that way, or the way you're acting, or however way you're doing it, what, you know, the don'ts or whatever, I think not only that, you're disrespecting the field. You're disrespecting other paranormal investigators. And I think, you know, I think that's a big no-no as well, because okay, you're going in, you're disrespecting the place, you're disrespecting the owner. But I think you're disrespecting everybody else in the field of paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about the don'ts? There are a lot of don'ts.
Don't act like you see on TV.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
I mean, that just narrows it down into one cut and dry statement. What you see on TV is for entertainment purposes only. We do not perform and act in 99% of the way you see it on TV. You see what they're getting paid to give you, and that's not how we investigate, point blank.
Here's another one for the paranormal investigators out there. Just because you pick up a camera doesn't mean you're going to be the next TV star.
The thing is as well, just obviously we were chatting about that as well, as you were saying, Jeff, about entertainment purposes. Our team always enjoy and getting somebody out that's in the page or somebody that contacts us so they can actually see what the paranormal's like, because there's times where you could be there for 2 or 3 hours and you need a lot of patience as well. It's not the case that you go to a location and the activity in the entertainment world, it's ranked up high. There's always a demonic spirit. A lot of people don't see the actual real side of the paranormal. There's a lot of patience that's involved. Experiments that you're maybe going to try, but you don't try it that night because you're not getting the activity you're expecting. But it's the same as a lot of people on Facebook and that as well now. It's all entertainment purposes, and every location you go to is a demonic spirit or something is possessed. But Paranormal wasn't like that.
Yes, I know when I had a few people with me at one of my locations, and they were having an open night, and I was there to do show them, calling out and whatnot for Halloween. And I said, "What you see, what we get is what you're going to get. It's not TV. We don't get things thrown at us or immediate responses. We could get nothing in the 20 minutes that we're going to be here. Literally nothing. Now we did. We got a little bit, which was great. It was brilliant actually for the ones, and it was running for like 5 or 7 nights, I think. And it didn't always work in command. They're not circus animals. They're not circus acts. And this is the reality. We could be somewhere for 12 hours. And you'll probably get 2 or 3 hours of activity, and the rest, nothing.
Yeah, well, that's like most TV shows. Like when it comes to this, they're filming for 7 to 14 days, and they're editing it down to 30 minutes or an hour.
They have.
What's that?
The best bits that they have. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think when people watch the TV, let's just get it out there. These people are seeing something demonic every single week.
Yeah.
It's just that should tell you right there.
Stop it. Stop it.
It's not happening.
But
then the problem
Stop
is
dropping the D word. When you go to locations and you're like, I heard that there was like demonic energy here. And I'm like, did you hear that on YouTube? Like, where did you get that from? Stop it. Stop it.
I watch a YouTuber, and I followed him for a couple of years now, and he started off just exploring, urban exploring, and then decided to get into the paranormal. And it was quite interesting. You could see that he actually had the passion for it and stuff like that. But as his name grew, every location that he goes to now, there's a demonic spirit. Every single location. It doesn't matter where it is. It could be in the woods, it could be a cemetery, it could be an abandoned building. There's always a demonic spirit there. And it's just because his names grew and obviously the money gets involved and stuff like that. So, But I guess people enjoy watching it or whatever, I don't know. But on a personal, because I'm passionate about the paranormal, I don't even watch it.
I must be very boring for him to go to the same different places, and you're going to get the same guy, demonic.
I swear to God, there was a time where he said that there was a haunted wheelbarrow.
I know who you're talking about now. I know who you're talking about. A haunted
wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a shame because you get people that believe it. And that just blows my mind.
Unfortunately, once the money starts coming in, and this is the problem with YouTube, and once the money starts coming in and you start getting more popular, there for some reason in their minds they say, well, I got to keep that trend going, so I got to do more that's going to get more people and more money. Unfortunately, that's the evil of YouTube. And I'm sorry that I use that word, but that is the evil of YouTube. Once you start growing, you start getting checks every month. They for some reason they thinking in the back of their mind, well, I got to keep this going.
Yeah.
What am I going to do next?
Ethics go out the window. It seems like their ethics, their whole moral character is just gone. And I find that a lot in YouTube and TV shows that once they get that stigma, they don't care about their own moral character anymore and their own ethics.
Aye, but I want to know, who are these people that believes in a haunted wheelbarrow? I want to meet these people.
So there. Yep, a haunted wheelbarrow. Honestly, a haunted wheelbarrow.
And listen, I want to go on that wheelbarrow. And Jeff was saying, once you
get
the money and whatnot in, you forget why you did investigations.
Is this the same? You don't have to say a name, but is this the same guy? They were in an abandoned, like it was a fairly new home, and they were in it, and it was a one-level home, and all of a sudden the wheelchair started moving back and forth all over the place. Same guy's okay. So
he's English.
Oh, he's English. Okay, definitely not the same guy. Then.
Who is it?
No name drop, and
I don't think Rick you think it is, Jenny. I think I know who you're thinking, but it's not.
Is it not? How? I can't even give you a hint without saying.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Anthony's right. Money and greed is the real demon.
It
Not
is.
what's in the location.
I've always said since I've started with the team, we'll never ask for money, because when you start getting money, the paranormal will then come second. So the love for the paranormal or the interest in paranormal's way. Your interest is now on money. Go to a private location, somebody's maybe called you to investigate their home. These people charge them to go to their home and investigate, and it's easy money. But as soon as if we were ever start that, then that's the day I would finish with the paranormal.
Yeah, completely.
Why are people charging to help people? That is, these people, like, if they legitimately need help, everything that you do is free. Point blank, period. So why would you charge them?
We went to a home investigation. It was actually one of the first ones when we started the team. And the owner pulled me aside after investigation. He gave me an envelope, and I knew it was money that was in it. And I said to him, "Is this money that's in this?" And he said, "It is." And I said, "We don't want any money." He's like, "It's £500 that's in this envelope." I said, "We don't want any money." He said, "You're the first team that's ever said to me that you don't want to take any money." I said, "Look, if we weren't out investigating your property, we would be out in the freezing cold in some abandoned castle or whatever, some other property that's abandoned." I said, "So it's a pleasure for you actually contacting us to come out and try and help you dig deeper into what spirits reside there or whatever. But I try to offer us money."
And I think the ones who charge money will give a false information, because it's expected for them to give a false information. So that homeowner is thinking, well, he said X, Y said, and this guy who's being paid has to give results. The ones who are not paid will give you honesty. Yes, we got something. Yep. We got nothing.
Well, the ones that are paid, they could turn around to the owner and say, "We're going to need to return. We're going to need to return because there's so many spirits in here. They don't like you, or whatever. We'll need to return next week. That'll be another £500. But if it passes over midnight, it'll be £50 per hour." Things like that. And these owners are panicking, and they just want to actually find out what is in their home, and they're willing to pay the money.
They need to be.
I had something similar. Can you all hear me all right? Because mine keeps freezing.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So I won't name drop this person. I had a phone call to ask, would my team go to a private house, because he'd been and he was really struggling with it. So we went along, and Jenna tell you, normally if they say to me, "How much?" and I go, "A cup of tea." That's it, cup of tea. That's all I need. So we did this house, not a problem. A couple of weeks later, I actually bumped into the couple in like the local town, and said to them, like, "How you getting on?" And they was like, "Oh, we've never had a problem since." They went, "It was the best 50 quid that we ever spent." I went, "Pardon?" And they went, "The money that we had to pay you." And I went, "You don't pay us nothing. The guy that asked us to go in was charging them on our behalf." So I actually phoned him up and I went, "Now get back and dish that money back." Yeah, so yeah, there's other people who charge them without you knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and did you ever find out who was the guy that was charging?
I ain't gonna name drop. I could if you want me to.
Don't you think it's don't you think it's time that we start name dropping to calling these people out? We're always saying, "I don't want to name drop," but yet, don't you think the only way it's going to stop is if we start name dropping, so people recognize what these people are doing and don't associate with them?
That's why.
Well, when it comes to scamming people, absolutely, because to me, you're scamming. If you're charging somebody for an outsourcing, like them calling you Tracy, that's an outsourcing. If they're using them to find out who is best to contact, like an outsourcing supplier or whatever, then yeah, if you're charging them just to make a phone call to you, then yeah, that's a scam, and you need to call them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if the guy's still paranormal. This is why I'm sort of like, because there was a lot went on with him. You know, he didn't just do that to us, but, you know, he scammed money from charities. he was stopped from going into other locations here in the UK
Is it who I
because
think it is?
he was sending checks and they was bouncing, and
Is it who I think it is?
I don't know.
Is it
Where
not?
does this fear? Where does this fear come from?
I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Where
His
does
name's
the
Paul
fear
Rook.
come from that we can't say these people's names?
Who is it, Tracy?
Like, are we afraid that we're gonna it's gonna hurt us or it's going to affect us in some way? Like, if there's a guy out there scamming people, like there was a year ago, and we all know who it was. I don't know. Maybe some of you might not know, but there was a guy out there scamming last year, telling everybody that he sat down with Ted Bundy and he was a medium and he was doing all this shady stuff, and it ended up all being a scam. He was scamming everyone, and his name came out there, and he left. He disappeared.
See,
and
that as well, when you call people out, they will create drama for you. You don't want to open up your page and see bull
But
crap
see, this
written
is
about you. I don't want that.
Yeah, see, this is what I don't understand. Why is everything? This is what, and I was thinking about this before the show. Why is everybody using the word drama? It's like, if you have a fight with somebody, that is not drama. You just had a fight with somebody. Like, people are getting this drama word all mixed up, you know? And like, if you have a problem with somebody, you go to that person and say you have a problem with that person. That is not drama. That is calling somebody out and saying something. Like, we're using the drama word for everything now.
Brian, you have people out there, but you do have people out there who are fishes and will create. I mean, I know of one person that was the most vilest, and I'm not even going to use the word investigator, or he was a medium or whatever, and an awful person that I can't even say what I really want to say. But they will bring you, and they have brought you horrible stuff. I've had people commenting on his post saying, I should hang myself. I should kill myself because
that's not drama. That is just somebody saying something. How is that? Like, I get what people are saying when it comes to certain things about drama, but now everybody's associating everything that happens. If something happens, oh, that's drama. If something happens over, oh, that's drama. Not everything is about drama.
I know.
It's really bothersome that, it's the exact same thing with demons. I hate the word demons. I think demonic is a stupid word. And drama. I think it's overdone and overused. And I think drama is overdone and overused. If you have a problem with somebody and you're just calling them out, that's not causing drama. That's just calling somebody out.
I know, but
the person I spoke about, I did call him out, and I went and faced him face to face along with my husband.
Oh, great!
Everything. Somebody has a problem with somebody else. It's now everything's considered drama now.
See, I wouldn't really say it's drama anymore. Yeah. It's that we're in such a day and age with social media and access to everything under the sun that it's become that you can't just call somebody out, confront that person, and it be over. Yes. Now all of a sudden you have social media where it opens up a door to a lot of other people's business and other people getting in your business, and it's a roller coaster of chaos. It's not really drama. It's more other people coming in and making it bigger and worse than it actually is.
Exactly. When I called this person out, sorry, Jeff, when I called this person out, I was told to kill myself. I was told, these were on the comments, that there's a bullet with my name in it because I stood up for myself. Yeah. And I went against this person. And I almost said who it was there. Because I got so angry. Oh, fuck it. It's John Sixth Sense. There you go. John Sixth Sense.
Finally, a name dropped.
Him and the flying monkeys. Like Amory said, the flying monkeys said, I would put it with my name. And guess what? Are you watching? Because I'm still here, people. I am still here. And all because you stand up for yourself. That's not drama. That's like, I was depressed after that.
Yeah.
I was horribly. So it's not drama. It's real life. So yeah, I called him out. Everyone come for me now. Get the stick up your arse or whatever. Don't care. Not
again.
It's like that a couple of years ago that there was a video of a famous on TikTok with the woman that was, being nasty to somebody and saying some racist comments. I get that. She shouldn't have done that. But all of a sudden she started being called a Karen. Now everybody's calling everybody a Karen now, or a Darren, or whatever it is, and it's like, oh my God. Like, I don't know how many videos I've seen where a woman is standing up for herself or a man standing up for himself and he's called a name. And that's the first thing people do, or they go to, is by calling somebody a Karen or a Darren now. If somebody has an opinion, if somebody has they want to state, like I said, they want to state their opinion or whatever, they're automatically called a name now. And I agree with what Jeff said earlier. Social media has a lot to do with it. But, I just can't figure out why, if somebody said something, all of a sudden it's drama. It's not. It's just somebody calling somebody out that they felt like they've done them wrong. And maybe you should take it privately. That's fine. And I get that. But
I'd called, I never really called him. I brought it up, and obviously I called him out essentially, but maybe a couple of days after I called him out, my moderator actually got a message sent by this person, and it was the nastiest thing you could say about a human being. And it was pointed to me and one of my good friends in the paranormal as well. And that really affected not just myself, but my partner. I nearly lost my job. It affected us for months and months and months, all because I just brought the name of a person into it. I wasn't really slating that person or whatever. I wasn't being nasty. I just put the name into it. And then the next thing, my moderator, she was on holiday, and she messaged me saying, "What's this?" And it was the nastiest thing that you could call a man. But that
have Lex up here.
basically enough destroyed. I had to take so much time off work, and it basically destroyed the family essentially.
Yeah, we should have Lex up here. Lex has Lex has no problems saying everything and anything about anybody, and he doesn't care the backlash.
Well, I don't either. But when it comes in and starts affecting, I don't really bother if it affects me personally. It's if it starts affecting my partner and my children.
Completely.
It's different. And it's when you take a step back, you think this is caused through paranormal, and this is what it is. It's through 10 years ago or 15 years ago when I started it, there was none of this carry on, because again, back to social media. Social media is a big part to play in this. There wasn't all these teams. It was, I'm better than you, and you went with a camera, you went somewhere, you investigated. If you got activity, you got activity, and that was it. It wasn't the case that I'm better than you, you're better than me, you're better than him. And it's all into the paranormal that people get jealous and they send nasty messages.
And that's what you were saying. It's paranormal. We all do the same thing, but you get some screw-loosed people. And at the time, this affected me, and I was horribly depressed over it, and I felt down, and I wanted to give up. And now people say, "Hey, do you sleep at night with my arse in the air naked so they can kiss it?" I genuinely don't care at this time. They can come for me. They can say whatever. I'm still going to do it. That's probably still watching. Hi. I'm still here, and I don't really care what they think of me.
I just got notified that they've gone live.
Well, it's funny because for people that know me, Jenny knows me, Tracy knows me. When it comes to the global ghost hunt, we've had some issues in the background with the global ghost hunt. Nothing major or anything like that. People said some things about other people, and that's fine. They're no longer with the global ghost hunt. And, there was a time last year where it was just beating me down, and I was going to walk away from the paranormal completely. And I spoke to a few people, and they convinced me that, don't worry about that and all that. But I really had to take a sit back and really think about why I was doing what I was doing. And that's what became important. And then I just came to the realization that, people are going to talk regardless You know, there's nothing you can say, nothing you can do. You just gotta believe in yourself and who you are as a person, what your morals are, what your integrity is, and don't care what anybody else says. And that's what it came down to for me. I don't care anymore. Some people have said some very nasty things about me that were completely untrue, but it made themselves feel better for some reason, putting somebody else down. That's fine. If that's the way you want to live your life, that's fine. I don't want to live my life that way. But with saying all that, the problem is, and again, going back to the social media thing and everything, we live in such a sensitive society right now on everything affects everyone. And I wish we could go back 10, 15 years ago when people had balls, because there's a lot of people out there today that don't have the balls. And yes, Valerie, please. No, I'm just kidding. So, start standing up for what you believe in. And if you're saying somebody's name or you're dropping somebody's name, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I know what you're saying, Reg. It came back to you and stuff like that and affect your family life. But the people that know you
Yeah.
as a person, like your family and the people that you associate, they know what kind of person you are. So whatever anybody else is saying, it's because they don't know who you really are as a person. Like since I started the Global Ghost Hunt, I've had some people say some nasty things about me, some really, really nasty things about me, and they're completely untrue. And I'll be honest, some people said I hate women. I don't hate women.
You're a
In fact,
man.
I love women.
You're a man whore. You
No,
love women.
no, that I'm definitely not. But some people were saying some nasty things about me hating women, and there's one person that me and Jenny know that started spreading that rumor. And but what could I do about it? People are going to say what they're going to want to say, and there's nothing you can do to control that. But as yourself, you're the only person that can control that. And if your family and friends know you as a person, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Because I think Jenny knows who I am pretty well over those last year. She knows I don't hate women.
No, you
I
don't.
don't hate women. I love women.
And you have me to contend with.
And it was just something nasty somebody was saying about me because they didn't want those people to come over to the Global Ghost Hunt.
Aye. And
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And and there was some people in the background that took a liking to me in a way that somebody would like somebody else. I didn't reciprocate that. But because I didn't reciprocate that, they got offended and started going out there and spreading lies about me and rumors and stupid things that weren't true. And, and I know I'm going on here, and I'm going to say one more thing about this. When I started the Global Ghost Hunt, there was a guy that tried to incorporate the Global Ghost Hunt behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
And tried to trademark it behind my back.
Yeah, I remember.
Then he started going around saying it was his idea. And I just got to a point where I started saying, you know what? People are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to say what they're going to say. There's nothing I can do to control that. But I know who I am as a person. I sleep very well, not always easily at night because I got insomnia every so often, but I pretty well sleep very nicely at night, because I know what kind of person I am. And the people that are involved in the Global Ghost Hunt know what kind of person I am.
Yeah.
And they know they don't believe that crap about me hating women because it's such bullshit crap. Sorry, Jenny, I'm not going to swear. And, it's just ridiculous. And, at the end of the day, which is a very famous saying of mine, at the end of the day, I can only control myself. I can't control anybody else. And that's how I look at it now. So
yes, I think at the beginning when people do this and say this, and it takes a while for us to get used to it, to grow thicker skin. What we thought was thick skin wasn't. Now, as we get older and we're in the field longer, we're just like, "Meh, whatever, keep talking to yourself. Once it stops affecting you, you are strong. And that level of freedom of not really caring, not caring at all, is the highest level of freedom you can have in the paranormal field. And that's what I think, is that the minute you stop worrying what people think about you, the ones who, what's that saying, those who matter? I forget that saying, Tracy, do you know it?
Well, those who matter and those who don't.
Or something like that. Yeah, that's the kind of thing, yeah. But there's more important people in my life than these behind my back talking about me. And I know you are. Oh, yes,
Well,
I do.
my saying, as I always say, there's two types of people in the world. There's good people, and there's CUNTs.
Yes.
CUNT.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. My favorite word, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But and I mean, you just play innocent.
And by the way, that is popular in North America.
See you next Tuesday.
Jenny, you don't recall? That word is popular in North America.
Yeah, I do recall. Remember
we were speaking the other day about this in Messenger.
Yeah, I probably said a few of them last night as well.
You went over. This is going over your head. Move on.
Oh no!
I'll remind you later.
Do. Oh gosh, yeah, because it's vaguely coming to me. But
there was a show a couple of years ago that you weren't supposed to say that certain word because it's not popular in North America.
Okay. I need you. Remind me.
I lost you. Okay, I'll tell you.
Remind me later. Remind me later.
Yeah.
People say about us are sharing with you how they are, which is true, and what people say about you is none of your business, basically. And the less you know, the less it affects you. That's what I think. The less I know, the less it affects me. If I do know something and I do find out, I will say it.
God help anyone when she does.
I will say something to that though. When you say it's nobody's business. And I see that a lot. But if you're publicly putting stuff on social media about your business to everybody else,
yes,
how much meaning does that really have? Like seriously, because if you're sharing about your personal life all the time on social media, shouldn't you expect some kind of backlash because of that? Like one thing I never really do on social media is talk about my personal life. I don't. Like, okay, for example, like I got my agent emailed me last night. I was casted in a role that I didn't have to audition for, which was great. And it's filming in March. Wow. That's as far as I go talking about my personal life. If you're going to be talking about your personal life on social media all the time, I don't think you can really say it's none of your business.
Well, yeah. But if people talking about you in private.
Yeah.
Not social media, in private. If they talk about you in private, then what I've been told is it's not your business. And the less I know, the less it affects me. So I really don't care. And not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. That's life.
It's the same as there's teams that will try and slate our team and stuff like that and bad mouth us as a team. I enjoy that because I know that there's jealousy in there somewhere. And I enjoy it because I'm like, well, we're obviously doing something right if it's annoying these other teams or whatever. The jealousy thing, so that's quite enjoyable at times.
Well, like you say, no publicity is bad publicity. If that, once your name is in their mouth, and I know they say no publicity is bad publicity, but they're gonna. I know, Brian, you probably don't.
I got an opinion about that too, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Say it.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I'm going to say it depends on what the publicity is. Depends on what they're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it depends on what they're saying.
Yeah.
But you're thinking about me. My name's in your mouth. You're thinking about me. I must have affected you in some way, shape, or form. You're welcome.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeff? What do you think about it?
About what? We've been all over the place. I just let y'all talk. I think more of like I'm letting Brian vent. It's like
I'm not venting at all.
It's like welcome to Brian's TED Talk.
I'm not venting at all. I'm just pointing out what I've seen over the last year. And I think it really started taking effect when COVID hit because so many people were bored and didn't know what to do. And they were they were doing all kinds of things online that really, really upset a lot of people because they were bored and they had nothing else to do. So I don't know. I don't know. I just seen a lot of things recently that it's
an eye opener.
Yeah, it's definitely opened my eyes in a lot of different ways for sure. So, but again, I go back to the fact of saying I can only control myself. I can't control anybody else and what they're going to do. So,
to what you hear, how you react to what you hear is under your control.
Yeah, that's important. That is important as well.
Sure, I've begun to ignore. I might throw a little jab in now and again, but then I let it go. Let it go. There's another thing that I want to talk about of the don'ts in the paranormal. Locations. Those that can go into it, those that can be gone into, and those that cannot. With clear signage saying do not enter, and they still enter. Boils my...
Well, it's being in Scotland. We can enter as long as there's an entry point in Scotland. Prime example, there's a location that I've been in. It's like a time capsule, and it's a farm, and it's been left like in the 60s. You still get the seats and the canes and the usual stuff, tellies and whatnot. And there is signs that say "Do not enter." But in Scotland, if there's an entry point that you can enter in, then you're free to go in. You can go in until somebody comes along, maybe the owner or the police, and they'll say, "Look, you'll need to leave." But we can enter in Scotland as long as there's an entry. But as long as you're not breaking entry, you can. Same as you can walk free to roam in Scotland. We can go anywhere, anywhere we want in Scotland. But locations, we can enter the locations as long as there's an entry point.
Hell yeah!
I think here, if there's a signage saying "Do not enter," you don't enter. You don't enter.
I know that's what you would think. But as I said, up in Scotland, you can enter. If the property owner, the owner of the property comes along and says, "Why you're here?" That says "Don't enter," can ask you to leave. That's fine. But in Scotland, as long as there's an entry point, like the farm I've been there, there's signs "Do not enter," but the front door, the main door to that house is just open. So in Scotland, we can just walk in.
Even if there's a sign.
Even if there's a sign. Yep.
Gosh.
So it's the responsibility of the owner of that property to board it up. Nobody can go.
Yep. Yeah. But we can enter in Scotland. You can go anywhere in Scotland. Fields are farmland that say no trespassing. In Scotland, you can trespass.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I know in Ireland, there's some places in the UK that you can't. In Ireland, the sign is up. I will take that sign not to enter. That's just the way I am. I just take it in. What other teams do in going into locations that the signage is up is probably not my business. I'm not going to say a lot on it. I'm not going to.
If we went, I know England as well. If I'm right, is that you just don't even get the free roaming side of things. Or if it says don't enter, you don't enter. Which is fine. If we went to a location in England and it says don't enter, we'll not enter. But in Scotland, you can enter. But it's different if you go to a building that says do not enter and there is no possible way in. Then you don't enter because you're then breaking entry. But as long as there's a way into that property in Scotland, you can go in. And then again, it's down to your own health and safety at that point.
There was one particular location that, and I can't say a lot about it, but there was one particular location here in Ireland that is boarded up, and there's just work going on in it. There's work going on in this location. It is shut down completely. People broke into it. No people broke into it. And that's why I'm not going to say who it is, but I just think it's disrespectful, gobshiteness. And a lot of people were very upset, annoyed, and confused over it. And that I just think is taking the piss. I'm sorry, taking the piss of being cocky. And it probably has ruined it for a lot of other teams that possibly it might open one day for teams. But this shower being gobshites broke into a location. Nobody knows if permission was given. I highly doubt it. There was work going on in this place, and got into it, and took selfies, took pictures, put them all over Facebook. And there are people saying, "Hey, let's go to this place because it's open." It's not opened. It is still closed. They got into it.
See, that's totally different. As you were saying, that's disrespectful as well.
Well, I'm sure somebody who's watching this probably knows who I'm talking about and might pass it on. Tell them I
But
said
it's
hello.
like we could travel 3-4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours up to Aberdeen, top of Scotland, go to a location, and we've went and everything's boarded up. Say we'll then just leave and we'll maybe look for another location because we'll not go and take boards off windows or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that's an offence then. But anywhere else you can get an entry.
So let me ask you a question. So let's say somebody broke into a place on the Tuesday night, broke into the place. You went on the Wednesday night and saw an opening.
Yep.
You can go in, even though somebody broke it originally.
Yep.
Once it's an opening.
The thing is, as well, like we have our team as well. We always like to have, as you can see, I've got my represent the team. You know, we always like to represent it. We've got the polo shirts and the hoodies, and we're all dressed similar. So if the police were to come along and they would see us all dressed the same, and we explain to them we're paranormal investigators, then they kind of show you a bit more respect rather than if we went dressed differently like bums and we had like a can of beer. You know, it's different. Man. But if there's an entry point, that's fine. Yep, you can go in. But I know what you mean, Brian. So if the police want to come, they go, well, you've done that. You know what I mean? But because we kind of like to be respectful at locations as well as look the part. So then if the police do come, you can kind of explain to them. We've had the police come before, and we've told them, and some of them will say, "That's fine, just watch what you're doing, because if you injure yourself, it's on you." Or you'll get police that will say, "Look, you'll have to leave because if we know you're in here and you injure yourself, then it's us. It's going to get."
Yeah, there's a place that I've been to a number of times, and it's one of the more famous places in Canada. And it actually says you're not supposed to go to this place, but the cops and the town and everybody's good if you go inside. It's the Blue Ghost Tunnel. Is actually you're not supposed to go into that location, but everybody does. The cops don't have a problem with it. The town doesn't have a problem with it. So, but that you're not supposed to go in that place, but you can. So I think in some cases, the reason sometimes they put no trespass is because they don't want the kids to go in there and do what somebody made in the comments earlier about spray painting. So when I was at the Blue Ghost Tunnel, we were getting ready to film, and we were doing a filming for Paraflix. This video's so these people came. There's like 5 kids, each one of them had a spray can, and they were going in the tunnel to do whatever they were doing, and that's what they're trying to avoid in some cases by putting the no trespassing. So they're hoping the kids are not going to trespass. But when you got adults going in there, they look the other way. So so you know sometimes they do it like there's a location up in it's about 4.5 hours. It's a prison. It's an abandoned prison. He actually has that throughout the prison as well. He never goes there. He's probably about 5 kilometers away from it, from where he lives, and he's got that everywhere because he's hoping the kids are not going to go in there and wreck the place. But he knows people go in there all the time, and he doesn't have a problem with it. So, but what I did was I wanted to make sure it was okay for me to go in there. So he actually charges $20 a person to go in there. So we ended up paying like $60 to go in there to film. And so we went through the proper channels to actually film in there. So, but he does have no trespassing everywhere. So,
so probably for the younger. What about you, Tracy? What do you think?
Yeah, no, for me, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't go into somewhere that says like no entry. Not that I worked too hard and too many years to, get nicked for trespassing. Oh yeah.
No. What about places that don't have any signs? I mean, I probably have gone into places like
Safety night again. I wouldn't do it. Because
places. Say there was something like a beautiful abandoned building or an old broken down. We went in Wexford last weekend. There was it's a Ferns Castle. We went. You can go in there. There is an old beautiful house beside me. Went in there as well. And there's another beautiful place that we went into. But these were fine. These have no signs. They were fine to go in. If that's kind of being a hypocrite and saying that, anything that's a red sign saying do not enter, no trespassing, I listen to that. Any beautiful buildings that don't have that, then of course I'm going to go in. I could be hypocritical by saying that, but I go by the signs.
Sometimes it's definitely better trying to track down the owner of the property or whatever and contacting them and explaining to them you're a paranormal investigator and stuff like that. And some of them will let you in. We're doing one down in Dumfries with another team in the summertime, and it's an abandoned nunnery, and it's massive, but it's took care of. There's a wee caretaker, and it's the same sort of thing as you said, Brian. You go and you throw them a couple of bucks, and he'll let you in, and you can go. A couple of bucks, he'll let you in and investigate, and it's fine. But the reason why that is because if it was left fully abandoned, there would be kids that would go in, drinking, set a fire, and then run away, and the building gets absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
So I see the point of you're saying, Jerry, and obviously the rest is no trespassing, and if there's signs it's no there, and you can go in and stuff like that. But I think a lot of it is to stop them getting ruined or in any worse condition.
Yeah.
These teams will go into them and walk around, chugging on a fag, snapping up. No.
It does ruin it for the other teams who are, the ones with the signs and so on. It ruins it for other teams, I think, and it's given the ones that have a good, respectable reputation were painted all in the same brush. Like we're going to do what they've done, and far from the truth. It's far from the truth from it. Thanks, Chris.
Do you know what I found weird? Travelled X amount of miles to a location, you park, and then you're walking. There's a location that we go in, it's called Lennox Castle, and it's just a big, massive, abandoned asylum. And it's about a 2-mile walk to it. From the car, you go up there, and there's about 100 kids sitting drinking. Why would you want to go way up there to drink?
Yeah.
Why would you want to walk 2 miles to a castle to sit and drink alcohol? And they're legal. They can go to a pub.
Oh, really?
Aye. I don't get it.
If it's a summer's day and it's lovely, maybe. But there's even a place here in Ireland, in the Hellfires Club in Dublin. And a lot of people go up there, and you do have to leave before it gets dark and especially in the summertime, because you would get everybody up there and you do not want to be around these people. Mm-hmm. They have raves and so on up there in the Hellfire Club. So we were thinking of going up in the summertime to camp overnight, but it's just too dangerous. It's too dangerous to do it. Yeah, it's just too dangerous to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a new thing, not to get off this topic, but there is a new thing that's happening now, at least in North America. I don't know out in Europe, but it's happened to a few places that I've known or that I know of it happening. Now some of these haunted locations are now starting to defend their locations towards the fakers. So that seems to be a new thing popping up. And one place I can think of is South Pittsburgh Hospital, where now what they're doing is, if you're going to be filming, if you're planning on putting it up on YouTube, they charge you an extra fee. Mm-hmm. And then before you put it up on YouTube, you have to send it to them.
Yep, they bet it. Yep.
Yeah. And you have to send them the raw, and you have to send them the edited version, just to make sure you're not doing what some of these fakers have done.
And
now they're charging extra for that now. So this is starting to happen now, and I think this is going to be a new trend that a lot of these locations are going to do. If you're going to start putting these videos up on YouTube, they're going to want to see the footage, and they're going to charge you extra. And it's starting to pop up now, and I really hope it doesn't. But that's the direction it's starting to look like it's going.
Honestly, I think it's a very good thing that he's started doing that, because I know exactly who started that and the reason behind it, and it's two individuals who are on a YouTube channel together, dropping the bloody D word every freaking time they turn around, and they made Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, an old historic Harriman hospital, look like trash. And they gave them false results and falsified evidence, and now that's why they're doing it. And I think it's extremely important, not only for the owners' benefits, but also the buildings and the entities within those buildings, to have the respect of the truth of their stories and what is actually there. I give Ronnie D 100%, and I back him 100% on making that decision. And I would back any location for that.
Yeah. They did when I was at Octagon Hall in October, those two same individuals that you're talking about did the same thing at Octagon Hall as well. And they were not happy about it. But on the flip side of that, some of these owners have to take responsibility on this happening as well, because they say, well, because they're doing that, it's going to make my place a bigger, better opportunity for investigators to come in here. And now I can charge more because these big YouTubers came in and the demonic word came out, and they're going to benefit from that as well. So it's not only the investigators, some of these owners of locations are, I'll give you one prime example I'm going to give you. So last year I did a documentary at a location here in Canada. It was Niagara on the Lake. Well, and I'm going to drop names here, by the way, just to let you know. So two YouTubers were at this location 2 weeks before I got there. Mr. Sam and Mr. Colby. And this location markets that they're haunted. It is haunted. It's very haunted. But unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say it's very haunted, but it's definitely haunted. And it's this building's from the War of 1812.
Wow.
So they went in there, and the general manager was walking around with them, and they were definitely faking evidence. They were faking.
Really?
And all of a sudden they would turn around and jump like something just happened. Well, nothing happened. It was for the video. They also did the old flashlight trick, if you guys know what I mean by that. They made the flashlight, they twisted it so the flashlight would come off and on. And it was just a matter of jiggling it a little and the light would come on.
And these are young children.
This is Sam and Colby. Yes.
They run Joe Rogan.
You know what? Now that you dropped it, they have ruined so many locations by dropping the D word and doing all the muck. And that's who I was speaking about earlier, was those two individuals that will go into these locations and now have ruined it for other people that are not actually falsifying or making stories up about these locations. Now they're the reason why a lot of these owners are doing the addendum about the YouTube and having them review the evidence and things like that before they are allowed to post it, so that they can't falsify.
Yeah, and the reason I brought that up was because the owner actually said, or the general manager actually said to me, she said, well, we were really pissed off when they left, but because they have 3 million followers on YouTube, we're going to get more promotion now about our place. So, and that's what I mean by some of the owners have to take responsibility for this as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not always the paranormal investigators that are to blame. It's also the locations. So, and I agree with you, Jeff, on what South Pittsburgh did. I think they should be doing that. And Yeah, it's interesting. Our field is very, very interesting when it comes to a lot of different things, for sure.
But I guess it just falls back on the reputation of the location prior to, people not caring about the actual location and the truth of the evidence and the history and getting the documentations correct and not making it more than it actually is or lying about it. And that reputation prior to, but also I think that it comes down to your own moral character. And as a owner or as a representative of the location, or as an investigator yourself, and how you want to identify who you are in that location. If you believe that you should be standing ground on the truth and the stories and the history of the location, then yes, absolutely have an addendum written in those rules and regulations that you sign when you go to these locations. Have it in there if that's what you want to do. Or if there's any type of character questioning about what you're going to do, be 100% upfront about it. Say, I don't do YouTube, or I do YouTube, or hey, can I do TikTok, or can I do this, or can I do that, and get your shit together, I guess, before you try to put yourself out there to be something that you're not, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do agree. What about you, Tracy? Hello, Tracy.
I'm just listening. Taking it in.
Somebody's saying here now, what about Twin Paranormal? Anybody know who they are? Should I?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
Oh,
and,
I know who they are. I know them.
Yeah, they unfortunately
tattoos in
the
their
same
face.
thing. They were good at the beginning.
Know. Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about.
It's the same thing. They were good at the beginning, and then they started growing, and they started making money, and things went south. And that's all it was. And
they're the urban explorers too, right? They do urban exploring and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I believe they. I don't think they do it as much anymore, but I know who they are, and I've seen a couple of videos. But other than that,
what gets me is with YouTubers
Lex told me more about them than anything. So go ahead.
Sorry, Brian, for jumping in there.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
What gets me with YouTubers? So the start, and as you were saying, Brian, they were good to start. Where you could tell they're really interested. Try to find out whether it's in a personal note or whatever about the paranormal. Then they get activity. We'll say slight activity, but then somehow when they start getting that reputation, the activity spikes. They start getting all this crazy activity because they've made a name for themselves. But yet, when they never made a name for themselves, they were getting next to nothing. But when they're making that name, the activity's crazy. There's levitating chairs and fridges and all this. It does man nothing.
But is that like any of us who do the paranormal and locations where, say, I would do the same location, like the museum, and we had one really, really quiet night. Oh, Rega's here. Is she back?
Yes.
That was weird.
Yeah, everybody
switched. Paranormal.
That was weird. Me and Rig switched, and Tracy switched positions.
What?
You and Jeff stayed in the same spot.
Musical chairs.
I know. How did that happen? What was going on there?
Now, remember what I said. My biggest issue with the paranormal field is people perceiving that what they see on TV and YouTube is real life what we do. Mm-hmm. And they come in as newbies with all this expensive technology, and they buy the newest stuff, and they go to these locations expecting to get what they see on TV and on YouTube, and then they get mad or they provoke to try to get activity because they saw it on TV.
Well, I got new equipment today, very, very expensive equipment, paranormal from investigations. Bought it today. I'm looking forward to using them. Baby monitors Baby monitors.
It's actually not that's actually a good purchase.
Cheap, cheerful, didn't break the bank. I'm looking forward. I mean, why not use it? We use the mobile, we use the phones when we do the ITC from one phone speaker to another part of the building. And we do live. Sometimes we do live from there, sometimes we don't. Why not have this on all the time in one of the most active location areas in that building where we can hear what's going on with a recorder down there instead of using our phones all the time?
Yeah, and never use your K2 again.
No. No. But cheap, cheerful, and I mean, why not? Why not? That's coming onto the equipment. You know, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses to buy like a €300 Boo Bear. Like I always say, get a teddy bear, rip the arse out of it, shove a K2 up in it, and then there you go. There's your Boo Bear. They're saving yourself €300 or dollars. I mean, come on. I just put it seriously. I go buy big monitors, you know?
Yeah,
Give me a camera, a voice recorder, and my SB7. I'm fine.
110%.
I don't need all this crap.
See, we actually talked about this on our Ghost Talk Roundtable on Wednesday night. It was paranormal equipment and what we think about today and how people are using the equipment and things like that. My very first comment was, I can't stand people not knowing how to use the equipment that they buy, and then they just automatically assume that the REM pod's going off when they've got their walkie right next to it. It's like, you need to know the basics before you start equipment. Stop buying expensive crap that you don't need until you get to the point where you want to try something new. First, you need to start with yourself and a recorder. Yes. That's it. That's all you need, is to understand the actual locations and yourself and how your body works at locations. You have your own gifts. You have your own senses. You know when something's off. You know if you're interacting with something by your own body. Your own body is a K2 within itself. You can actually read a location with your own body. The only thing we can't do is hear what is being said unless it's like literally audible. But just a recorder, your body at a location, that's all you need until you get the fundamentals of yourself.
Yep.
That's it.
We have a video on the Global Ghost Hunt website. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Barry Fitzgerald.
Very much.
Out there in Europe. He did a video for us. He's talking about
in Ireland.
Yeah, in Ireland. He's talking about the 5 best pieces of equipment in the field. Yes. And he also talks about orbs in this video as well.
Yeah.
The number 1 piece of equipment on his list was his own body.
That's it.
And guess what, people? It's free. You don't have to pay $500 for it.
And the second piece, I will say, now I'm going to plug in, we had the Paracon last Saturday a week ago. Fantastic Paracon down in the south of Ireland in Wexford. And one of the speakers, and I'm going to plug because I got his book today, Steve Parsons. And let me tell you, he's on the show next week, so I'm looking forward to have him back on. So I love the way he talks. Like, we would sit down and, me and my team and Gillian and so on would sit and have a great conversation with Steve and Kieran O'Keefe. And I love the way Steve thinks, very scientific. And the second, the apart from your body, the second a piece of equipment is the thermometer. Taking temperatures. We have ordered 3 thermometers that we can put in different rooms, obviously, but you'll get your temperature coming through onto you on your phone. So who's that now? Is that Julian? You need Steve Parsons about equipment. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm guessing that one is 2 as well. I have the other one, sound one coming tomorrow, and I'm going to order the equipment one. Don't worry. Yes, Mary.
Yeah.
We have it here.
And actually, Barry's second piece of equipment was paper and pen.
Yes. Paper and pen. Oh, there's Jessica,
Yeah.
my daughter. Hello, Mama. My daughter's upstairs saying hello to me.
Oh, there you go.
Miss Jessica. But yeah, so temperature. That's what Steve goes by. Temperature. When that drops, everything else is okay. Everything is fine. Even down to the recorder of what you get. I think it's the Zoom H1. That's on order. We're getting that too. We left those talks, especially Steve's talk, with a fresher mind, a fresher look into investigations, a fresh new start, and like we're not going to get rid of some of our old stuff because we like how we do it. Yeah, okay, Jeff, no worries.
I'm finding something. Hold on.
Okay. But such a thing as the thermometer, we're doing that. Like I said, we have the baby monitors. Why not use them? I don't see why not. You know, I know. I don't know. I know I've heard of a few people using it before, but why not? So yeah. So anyway, once the temperature drops and so on, and then that's what you want to go and have to look into more, if that makes sense. I think.
Yep.
So we're going to work with that next on our next investigation in the museum. We're going to be doing next.
Yeah, just be careful on those. Also, those baby monitors as well.
Yeah.
You got to be careful because you can actually pick up voices from other baby monitors in the area, and you can actually pick up radio as well on baby monitors. So you got to be careful with those. You got to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we've taken that into account of of the location at the Drogheda Museum. So we know.
Please tell me you're going to talk about what not to use in the field. Please tell me you're going to say that. You're going to bring that question up because I got one in mind that I am tired of seeing.
I think this is Gillian. Because Gillian, I might see it on my. I don't know if you're watching it on the Emerald Isle page. Is it you? I can't see just yet. But yes, we were saying a lot of teams have left having to bin 3/4 of their equipment after hearing it is crap. You know, such a thing like the K2s. What else was he saying? What else? He didn't. He's on the show next week. So we're going to go through all of that as well. And
I found out something about the K2 last week that I was really surprised about. You can manipulate the K2 by putting a penny in the K2.
Oh my God.
Well, that makes sense. It's copper.
Yeah.
The other way to manipulate not just the K2 but REM pods, etc., is walkie-talkies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
People don't know how to use the equipment. They spend all this thousands of dollars on stuff that they don't even know how to use. Stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah. If there's carpet in the room with your REM pod, just walk around in your sock feet.
Static.
Ions. We'll set it off. So all this stuff out there, the biggest one that I've seen a lot of lately, that I've seen a lot on TikTok, and it really, really bothers me because people are believing it, is Ghost Tube.
Oh, holy crap.
Ghost Tube.
Yeah.
Ghost Tube. Like, oh my God. Like, it is. I am so tired. There's a paranormal group on TikTok. He goes live almost every single night, and he captures something on GhostTube that is the best piece of the evidence ever in the world, and that he says he has, and it's from GhostTube. This stick figure turned on a flashlight, and it's the best piece of evidence ever in the world, and he got it from GhostTube. And I nearly flipped my lid because it's such a fake app that
I've seen someone on TikTok use this woman using it on TikTok, and I just scroll up. I can't look at it. I'll just say something I shouldn't probably. Jeff, what do you have there? What do you have that you went and got?
Okay, so I apologize. I had just gotten back from a Paracon and I didn't know where my stuff went. So that's why I was looking around my office. But Brian said that the second thing that was brought up was pen and paper. Well, I created a notation, like a dictating evidence log. And that's what I was going nuts about, is because I created the Paranormal Research Journal. And it gives you timestamps.
Wow.
So if you're at a location, you get your location, your timestamp, who was there, blah, 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 like a basic journal entry. But it tells you, so later on, your hotspots, your equipment that you used, what actually used out of the equipment at what area. So as you're at the location, you can timestamp and not have to sit there for hours and hours and hours and be like, I know that I was in this room using this camera, blah, 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 blah. If you hear something, you can actually notate it as you go, and you can also make notes as you go. But
Yes.
then when you get back to review your evidence, you can go back to those timestamps and say, hey, at this point, and actually like put it in for later use.
This is the one
Every
that
time you go to the location, you can check it in.
I take this one with me.
Yeah.
But I have to fill it out. But that's just already done. And do you sell those?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. I have two editions. I have the actual equipment edition as well as the journal one. So the equipment edition has a lot more timestamp area with a breakdown of different types of equipment that you use at the location. But I got tired of using my notepad.
Yes.
And I made exactly, instead of doing all that as I went, I just killed my time and I felt like my focus was off. So I created the journal, and it's actually sticky. You can't, like, if you're going through a dark building and you trip, it actually has sticky on it.
Okay.
So it won't fall
That's
right out of
cool.
your hands.
That's
cool.
so nice. What is the so where people can
Let's
buy
put that link out there. Let's put that link out
that's
there.
what I'm going to say. I'm going to type the link up now. Give me what the link is, and I
Yeah,
will,
Jeff, maybe you can put it in private chat, and then Jen can share it out, your link for
yes.
the book.
Yeah, that's fine. It's on Amazon. Just Paranormal Research Journal by me, Jeff Coddington. And it's right there. And I don't know. I just felt like a lot of people got tired, like if they were like me, getting tired of just writing it all down. And then you can go back to location like 5 years, 10 years down the line and be like, what did I pick up? What did I use? What were the hot spots?
Yeah.
And revert back and then kind of compare how the years changed the locations and the entities as well as ourselves.
That's cool.
That's it. I'm going through mine, and it's a lot of writing down quickly because I'm kind of moving on, and it's all like scribbles, and I need it. I need it done for me. Unless
I did it.
That's perfect. I'm going to go shopping tonight.
Yeah.
See, that's what you do. You bring somebody who just writes everything down.
Well, I mean, and
Just
there's
does all the
actually,
writing and
Jenny,
everything.
there is a big note section as
I
well.
know.
So you can actually hold on, I'm in the wrong area.
Yeah, we can,
There's a huge note section as well. So you don't have to go by what I have here. You can make your own notations.
that's perfect. I'm going to go shopping. And so let me just put it up here now.
Yeah, send me that link, and I will push
What's
it
up,
out on my
Brad?
pages.
What's up, bud?
Brad, I'm just getting your message now, Brad.
Send me that link, and I'll push it out on my pages.
Would
Thank you,
send
man. I appreciate
That's
that.
good, man. That's good. I love it. I love it.
There's loads of vlogs, books, and Amazon. What's yours called? Can you put in the private chat, Jeff? And
Yeah.
I'll kind of put it up here on the page. Then.
Let me actually pull my Amazon account real quick.
Yep. I think we're all going shopping tonight.
I appreciate it. I mean, I just thought that it was something that everybody could make their stuff easier in life. Paranormal research journal. There you go.
Because I have to write down temperature inside, temperature outside, so the baseline, and then I have to kind of write, and then I'm losing my pages. Whereas if I have that journal, and like other teams would have the journal, then you know I've got 2 or 3 mini books here, and I need to get one specifically for audio only because I lose where I've left off my last piece of audio when I'm doing audio work. And then I have this scribbles on it. I don't know what it is half the time that I'm writing down. It's
There
way
you
too
go. There's that
That's
one.
perfect.
And then
Awesome.
there's the second one.
That's-
This one, the Gear
that's,
Edition.
That's cool. That's very, very cool.
Yeah,
I love
I'm
it.
putting the Gear Edition up as well. If anyone's interested in more technology based and not just a journal type based, there's two. Thank you to Brad
Yeah.
Webb for doing and making me do the Gear Edition. Actually, it was his idea.
I am going to
Oh yeah.
copy and paste these 2 links.
Yep. That's perfect. Copy address.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. You're going to be inundated now tonight, Jeff. Oh, Jeff has gone out there for a second. I didn't see him going. Have you got it? Did you order it, Tracy?
Oh, of course.
God, woman. That's brilliant.
Okay.
Here he is. Here he is. He's back.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I closed the page when I was closing out the. Yep, that's it.
Tracy's
Oh,
already.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's it. And then there's the Gear Edition for the. And like I was saying, Brad Webb is actually the reason why I made a Gear Edition, because he was like, well, I'm more blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I got you, bro. And I completely edited it and made it more for tech stuff.
I'm going to have a little shopping here now. I'm going to go shopping.
Love it.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's great.
I got them written down. I got them pasted here.
Is
I'm
that
gonna share those out.
Yeah,
Share those
that's
out
the
after
Gear
the show.
Edition. Yep, that's it, Tracy. Yep.
Oh,
Love it.
is that you
Well,
bought
thanks
it?
for the love and support. I mean, I just hope it helps, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, dead on, because having to write it out and you're rushing, and but you know, you have to write down equipment you took with you, time, temperature, tag and everything. And where this just covers all of it, because I have a book here, like I said, and there's scribbles in it, and it's going from. There's a few things written in this from the Estes method to work, and where this notebook will just have the whole thing done for me, and I can't feck it up. I'm sure even I can't feck it up. So yes, we'll be going shopping now in a ticket bay. So that's brilliant. Brian,
Yes.
you want to talk about what not to use?
I already did. Ghost
SLS cameras,
Please don't
please
use it.
stop.
Please don't use GhostTube. For the
Oh,
love
God,
of God.
no.
If you see
No.
somebody using GhostTube, go to the next page, please.
Now, here is Anne-Marie Young. Phone and pendulum, and I want rods. Now, I will say the reason why I used the phone. Hold on, Brian. Hold on. Brian's having a hernia.
Jenny, just before you go any further, I'm going to meet. I'm working in the morning, so
Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah.
I'm up at 4 in the morning.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh,
I know.
good luck, brother.
I know, and then back to try and watch the football. But I know it was a pleasure coming on. Good meeting you. Meeting you three as well.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Hopefully we catch up again. Next time I can stay on a bit longer.
I definitely. Thank you so much for coming on. Thanks
Right.
a million. You're working all day and you're working
It was
tomorrow.
great
We'll
meeting
catch
you.
up during the week.
Mhm.
Right.
We'll talk later.
Take
See
care.
you later.
Right, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Nice
Bye.
to meet you.
With Anne-Marie saying with the phone, that when we use the phone, it's for the ITC, from one room to another. That's it. That is it. No apps and nothing on it. The pendulum, I have the pendulum. I do have a stand. It's behind me now, but it's what the pendulum sits on. It hangs off. So we're not touching it.
Mhm.
Or we would hang it off the frame of a door or off something that we're not touching the pendulum. But we don't use it often. I'll be very honest. We don't use it often. Now we had, not phone apps for pictures. We have
Yeah.
rods. We have rods. I think the rods are. Look at
Garbage.
Tree.
I know,
Garbage.
Yeah, not phone app with pictures. Yeah, we did the same. I use it for the ITCs, but the rods, we've used the rods once or twice in the museum and different locations. I'm kind of it's not something I can document. I'd like to document a lot of stuff. I don't know what the triangle is, Anne-Marie. What is the triangle?
What is
I
the
don't know.
triangle?
Let us know what that is, Anne-Marie, will you? Brad used the phone for necrophonics. What do you think of that? The necrophonics. I've used it once. It's like the spirit box, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. And it falls into the phone app thing. It's not 100% viable for evidence. Now I have used it myself.
Aye.
And I only caught one time that I can 100% say that was 100% class A that came through, and that was, I said, where do you want us to go next? And it said Penhurst.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
and that was one that I could not, because we were actually at the hospital part of Penhurst, which is actually off the property because it was established as a tuberculosis hospital. When it opened, though, the tuberculosis had already gotten its cure. So they switched it over to an actual, more medical hospital for the patients of Penhurst instead of making their own hospital part on the grounds. So they just, in turn, made it the hospital part. So technically, it was telling us to go back to Penhurst because we were technically not on the Penhurst property.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was weird.
Yeah, I used it quite a bit at the beginning when I first started Huntophobia. I was using it quite a bit. I like the fact that it's probably one of the only. I know there might be a few more out there, but it's one of the only apps out there that didn't ask permissions to use media and your contacts and stuff. It didn't ask for any of that stuff, so that's something I did like. I've captured some really, really interesting things on there as well. Like I've asked questions, like I'll ask the odd question, like a really, really odd question. For example, what's the color jacket I'm wearing? And then I get a comment back saying black. I was on the fence about it. I'm still on the fence about it, but one thing I will say, when I found out who associated with the necrophonic, I backed away from it completely, because Mr. Stephen Huff has something to do with the necrophonic, and we all know what he's about. And so that's why I kind of stay away from the necrophonic. I haven't used it probably for about a year. And I just try to stay away from the apps. My phone is used for voice recorder. I'll use it for a voice recorder sometimes, or I use my phone to go live, or I use it for a camera.
Yes. Yeah.
And, for pictures. That's really what I only use my phone for now when it comes to the phone. So, yeah.
I use something 100% to base the evidence off of with the necrophonic. Yeah. Like I said, I've only technically caught that one time where I 100% go, that said Penhurst, and I'm at Penhurst. Like, you can't.
Yeah. And
you can't say anything against that. And I have it actually recorded.
You're right.
So I was like, okay, no, that messed me up a little bit.
Now,
I can't deny that.
Me and Lex have spoken about this many, many times on our show. He hooked up his phone to the computer and went through what the app does. He went in the back, I guess, however he does it. Now, what people think is there's a word bank in there. Actually, there's not. It's letters and sounds.
Okay.
So when it's spitting out something, there's a good possibility it might be real, might not be, but there's definitely no word bank in it like the Ovilus that somebody mentioned. The obvious, I can't even speak. Why can't I talk? Anyways, that has a word bank in it. So Lex actually hooked that, left that going for like 12 hours. That piece of equipment, and it circled around and started saying the same words again later on. So, yeah.
What about the Alice box? I remember having used it before many years ago, and we used the Alice box, and I will say it's like kind of like the Ovilus. It throws words out. You still have to pay for it, but it's an app. Now, yes, I've used the word app. It's an app. I have used it. I'm very cautious of what equipment I use. I'm all about me, like pen and paper and recorder and camcorder, the usual. But we used Alice Box in 2 different locations. Now, we were using a tablet at the time to use it. It said my name and my daughter's name, Jen and Jess. And Jessica was there with me a week or 2 weeks prior, and I was doing work in the museum, and it was in the evening time, and Jessica was leaving one of the rooms, and I said to Alan, oh, if only she knew, young, innocence when it comes to locations sometimes. And so she came out of the door and she looked at me and I said, did you? And she goes, Mom, I heard a woman. And I high-fived her and I'm like, yay, you heard it. DVP, I was so happy. I was so delighted. So then 2 weeks later, anyhow, it said Jen and Jess' name on the Alice Box. It could have been a coincidence. I don't know, but I didn't talk about her. Then. And I did say, listen, thanks for saying my daughter's name, if it is real, but let's not do that again. Let's not say her name again. Thank you for, confirming if it is real, if it's not. Use it at a different location. It kind of gave us validation as well. I don't know. They can manipulate electronics. When I was doing it live a few weeks ago, myself and Lou were doing the Estes method together. Usual headphones. She was reverse on her spirit box. I was forward to see if we get the same answers. So we had one of the boys writing down the questions and writing down our answers. Obviously, we couldn't hear what was going on. I did watch the live after it about a week later, and we were on the live. So I'm getting a lot of answers through my phone, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when Alan's calling out, or Niall was calling out, you'll hear a man on my phone going, fuck off, very clearly. And I don't mean to say it, I meant to say F, but anyway, I said it.
Is that through your voice recorder?
My mobile phone.
On your voice recorder on your phone?
No, I was doing it live.
Okay. I got you.
And the answers was coming not only, well, the recordings I still have to go through, but on my phone, yes, I was getting answers from my phone while we were on a live. So they can manipulate electronics. We know this. Yeah. So yes, so Alice Box is one of them. Sorry, I'm waffling on a lot here. But it was just one of those equipment that I was thinking of getting again. I'm not too sure. Tracy, what do you think of these equipments? Because I know.
I don't use a lot of equipment, do I?
You used the Alice Box last week or 2 weeks ago, and it came up.
Yeah, I've got Alice. But obviously, it's not. We had the Alice that we have got completely wiped, and just had it reinstalled by somebody with just like letters, numbers. We used it on a location a couple of weeks ago, and like I switched it on, let it boot up, and I was like, right, can you tell us who we are? And it actually came up and said Afterlife, and then it said research, and then team, and then later on it said Jen, just as I was video calling Jen on my phone.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard it. And I do agree with Brad as well. 99% of our evidence is on the voice recorder.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit, we love it.
Mine's on the recorder or the camera.
Yeah, love them.
And the SB7.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so what do you think of the spirit boxes from Suzette? What does everyone think of the spirit boxes?
I was going to ask that. What spirit box is she talking about? Because there's several out there.
I have the coated box. I have the coated box.
It's interesting, as Jen knows. We have a video up again. I'll say this on Global Ghost Hunt with AJ. He was using the red and black spirit box. I can't recall what the name is, but he actually captured through the spirit box. It's saying he said something about the Global Ghost Hunt. A few seconds later, it said the Global Ghost Hunt.
Nice.
I heard that.
So that was pretty cool, and that was the red and black one. Forget what it's called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You can get it at Go Stop.
Yeah. I use the SB7. That is my spirit box that I use. I don't like the SB11. I'm not a fan of the SB11. But the 7 I've captured a lot of evidence on. And me and Lex had a skeptic on our show last year. And he put down the SB7 quite a bit.
Oh, really?
He says it's a broken radio. That's all it really is. And he goes, well, I said, well, I was at a location that said my name 3 times in a row. He goes, well, that's what you wanted it to say. I go, no, that's what other people were saying.
Yes,
So
that's what you played and said, Jen, can you hear anything on this? And I could hear your name, but did it not say your full name?
yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it said Brian Laverty.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many radio stations are out there saying Brian Laverty, but it's not a very common name.
Not yet.
So,
You know,
but for example, I caught at the streaming tunnel. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. That I was about 300 meters away from the tunnel, and I asked the spirits, "Can you help us find it?" That was my question, and it said, response back was, "You'll never find it."
Oh, really?
Clear as day. And
Wow.
we never did find it. But then a few seconds later after that, I said, is it behind me or is it in front of me? Because I was trying to determine where it was. And it said the other side. And somebody in the audience said, you're on the wrong side of the road. It's on the other side of the road.
Wow.
So, that's a huge coincidence if somebody said that on a radio station.
Right.
So,
Right.
but those are my 3 pieces. Spirit box, the SB7,
Right.
camera, and voice recorder are my tools that I go to. I will say I do like the FLIR. The FLIR is, I do enjoy the FLIR a little bit every so often when I use it.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's definitely a good piece of equipment too.
It has its pros and cons. No,
Yeah,
Steve
of course.
Hart has taught
Just
me a
like
lot.
everything.
Bless his heart, he's taught me a lot. Because I love the flare, and it started off as very expensive. It still is for me, anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, it has its pros and cons. I'm looking forward to sitting on a train reading this, and people looking at me with 10 heads. What are you reading Ghostology for? Okay. What about Anne-Marie? Anne-Marie, have any of you heard of the Hope app?
Yes.
I have it on my phone.
Garbage.
I had to try it out. It's just way too much work for something a SB7 box can do. It's just as simple. I have it here on my phone.
Is that the HSB or whatever?
This one
Is that
here,
the HSB that Steve-O uses?
I don't know, but this is. Let me just get rid of. I don't know what's the video.
Or is it
now.
actually called the Hope app?
Oh, Hope app. It's just Hope. I don't know if you can
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
that's the HSB or whatever.
Thinks yes, that's the one. HSB. That's the one.
Yeah.
I did try it out.
Not a fan of it.
It's too much fiddling around with too many options, too many buttons. It's like Blair Witch. It sounds like Blair Witch, and it's just way too much. I could turn it on and let you hear it. It's just
you gotta ask a question, then you gotta do this swipe, and then you gotta swipe it back. It's like, good Lord.
It's too much. It's kind of like do anybody ever watch Twin Peaks where your man is talking backwards, or it's a different language completely. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't remember.
I think your best bet, honestly, when it comes to phone apps, is just stay away from them.
Yes.
Just stay away from them.
Yeah, I agree, and it's simpler. Less is more when it comes to investigating. Like, I have 3 huge cases full of equipment. I've stopped taking it.
Yes, me too.
I'm dead serious. Like, my wife and I were just at the old historic Harriman Hospital, and she looked at me and she goes, "Did you even bring any equipment?" I said, "No." It was just me and her. Why would I want to waste my time setting up all this equipment when my wife and I are just as capable of having experiences, just us? It makes no sense. And Brad, you make some of the best equipment for the cheapest price.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
You don't ask outrageous prices. And it works just like anything that you can buy at any other website.
Yeah.
Not calling out names.
I would say the same thing about Todd Sylvia from Relatively Paranormal. Yeah. His prices are phenomenal when it comes to to his equipment. And, you know, if you are a fan of the SLS and if you're a fan of the XLS, you are not going to find prices that he charges for his, like his SLS camera, which is normally between $500 to $800. His is $295. And it's better. It's a better.
I hate to say this, but SLS cameras, if you don't
I know.
use
Some
them,
people use them very wrong though. It's all the really at the end of the day, most people when they're using that are using it wrong.
I 100%
I'm not
agree.
I'm not a big fan of it myself, but if those are the people that are into that, like you said earlier at the beginning of the show, Jeff, you need to know your equipment. You need to know how it works.
Yep.
And why it's doing certain things and it's not doing other things. You have to know. And even the voice recorder, you should know the voice recorder.
Yeah.
Like some people just like I did last week or a couple of weeks ago at an invest. I'd never used this voice recorder before, and it was the guy that I was with. So I was fiddling with it, trying to figure it out. If I had more time, I would have sat down and figured it out. But the biggest issue is a lot of people are using this equipment wrong. If you're into the equipment, so you have to know what you're doing when it comes to that. Like 100%. Even the K2. Like the K2, I use the K2 every so often on an investigation. I don't use it a lot. I just think that the K2 can be set off way too easily from multiple different things that are going on in a location that I try to avoid using it. So, and like Josh was saying, phone apps are a joke. I get, and what Jenny was saying earlier, that spirits can manipulate equipment. They could probably manipulate your phone. They can drain your phone. So I can't see why they can't manipulate your phone. But I think your best bet when it comes to investigation is stick with the basics. And you don't need all this silly stuff out there. Let me ask you this, and I know this is your show, so I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you not think, and I think about this all the time, do you not think that a lot of paranormal investigators have made this industry very, very complicated when it doesn't need to be?
Yes. If it ain't, don't fix it. To keep it up with the Joneses and the equipment, like I said. Here I am with a €25 baby monitors, so I can hear what's happening in one of the active rooms that we have in that museum.
Go back to the basics. Get your foundation before you go and spend buku's amount of money. And research what you're buying and who made it and what it's used for. And is it accredited? Is it based out of somebody on YouTube that is getting paid to say, hey, buy this product? Or does it actually have a good review? Are people actually using it for the right reasons? Like the SLS camera, when it first came out, everyone wanted to buy one, but they didn't know the simple basics on what it was used for and how to use it properly. Please go back to your basics. A yes and no box.
I'm getting them. Brad is sending some over to me now, so I'm looking forward to getting them. Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. Like Brad Webb with Cracked Skull, he created it. He's making them himself. And I can verify that every dollar that you're sending is pretty much just going to make it. He's not making a huge profit off of it. He wants it simple, to the point, with a foundation on the basis of how to use the equipment. And he is giving it to the investigators out there without spending a lot of money. Do it for the right reasons, buy the equipment for the right reasons, and break your foundation and build up on it as you go. Use your body first.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think even with Brad,
I'm going to tell you one of the pieces of equipment that I have in my bag. It's very simple, very basic. It's a cat toy with the bell in it.
I have them here. I use them.
It's
too.
a plastic little ball with a bell in it. And it cost me what, $3 for like five of them or 6 of them. And actually I think I have 8 of them and it cost me like $3. And I'll place them in places where there's activity. If it moves, you're going to hear the bell ringing. And
That's
it's
it.
just
things.
that's it. It's
Simple
you
things.
can't be any more basic than that.
Yeah.
You know, so
Simple things. Like I said, too many teams are keeping up with the Joneses. I've got this, I've got that. And Brad,
Yeah,
that's when it comes to cost versus profit.
yeah. Brad's right. I used the cat balls and when I went to the UK and I put it on a step in the mausoleum and that question, like I was asking questions and getting response. My final question is the ultimate question that I think a lot of people are always asking when they go into locations or at least thinking about it. We're always wondering if when somebody dies, when a loved one dies and you die years later, do you guys reconnect again? I asked that question and the cat ball went off like that. So I said, are you two together? And they died 30 years apart. And it was an incredible moment that will be eventually coming out on one of my videos. But I asked the simple questions and the automatic response I was getting was just fantastic. And definitely class A. For sure.
We must get that video up. I want to ask Gillian as well. On the 4th of January, 2021, I turned on a phone app with a friend for the laugh. And I know Gillian would do that. The first thing I said was, Father, Father, Father. My dad passed away on the 7th. He had been ill. I remember that. And like, I know Gillian does, I know she's like put on the phone app for the laugh. What do you think of it now, Gillian? What do you think of the phone app? Because I know Gillian wouldn't use them. Gillian would literally use herself and the pendulum. I'm looking at this one now from Brad. We don't use the K2. We use the EMF with temperature sensors on it. I like that one too. I'm getting more
into the EDI.
Yes. I'm getting more into the temperature side of it. When you keep doing your investigations and it gets tedious sometimes and it gets boring because you're repetitively doing the same thing time and time again. So it's good to learn new things or do things that you haven't normally done. Anne-Marie, I'm going to my very first Paracon and investigation at the end of March. I've only just gone to people's I know houses. Thanks for all this information. Anne-Marie, I was at my first Paracon last weekend. Fantastic, brilliant, loved it. Looking forward to the next one. But have a ball. Let us know how you've gone on with it. And you are so welcome. Hope now all of this information that you can take with you and bring it to your investigation. Let us know how it goes. Brad loves the cat balls that light up are great too. Louise,
we have a lot.
Really, Louise has brought them in because I've never used them before. So they're now when we're doing lives, we have to now get those glow sticks, crack them, and put them down where the cat balls are, because there's many lives we've done, and you will see us going flying on a cat ball because they're obviously on the floor, So
I've stepped on them.
Did you? Yeah, that's what we did. And I mean, because you're on a live and the F-bomb does come out sometimes, or the SHI, they do come out. Let me tell you, it's realistic. It's not pre-rehearsed. It's real. What you see is what you get. So if you have a few Fs and a few S's, it's because it's real. Brad said, anyone who says the expensive REM pod works better than the proximity, I'm going to say that wrong now, sensors, doesn't understand how cheap the REM pod is to make and how much you can get ripped off. Absolutely.
That's why we go to you, Brad.
Absolutely.
I've supported you since you started your first little answer boxes, bro. I got your back. Your stuff is 100% credible and for the bang for the buck.
I'm looking forward to getting mine. I know they arrived over Ireland. We didn't get them in time because we have customs charge. We didn't get them in time. We were paying on the day before they were being sent over, and they were sent back. And now we have to send them back all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord.
Love customs.
The customs was like €150. I tell you, because of freaking Brexit, that we are paying these charges. So I'm going to get them sent up to a team member of mine up in the north. Brad, I'm going to send you on that mail later. But it was 150 to get them sent over to the south of Ireland. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to have them get them sent up to Aidan. He lived up in Belfast. Thanks, Aidan. Louise, she's Emerald Isle Paranormal Researcher. She's one of my ladies. Do anyone use the green lasers? If so, how long on average would you get when using them continuously?
Are you talking about like the laser grids? the
Yeah.
grids themselves. I've used grids in the past. It's more of a battery thing, so it doesn't really have a charger. You just, energize it and see how long that they last. But I've never had an issue with the laser grids actually dying while I'm using them. The only time that I've really used them is when I was sitting alone or with somebody with no other equipment, and we're just sitting in a hallway just to see if shadow play and things like that happen. But it's not very consistent. So
I know Louise is going through video footage of one of the laser pens, and there's kind of like movement going on with it. I know she's going through it for a while between work and so on. But there's something that she just can't figure out. She just can't make it out just yet. So we have to, like Louise, send it on. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. I know I have to get. I ordered a laser grid pen, and it came, but it has the US charger.
okay.
So now I have to go buy the traveler one so I can use it to charge up my battery thing. Let me see. We use a $20 one off Amazon, and we've gotten so many good EMF hits with it, as well as getting temperature drop. That's brilliant. See, that's what we're going to start getting into more, is the temperature being dropped. You don't need expensive equipment to get results. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You don't need them. You really don't. Like I said, the Boo Bear, like €300 here in Ireland. And I'm like, are you smoking a freaking doobie? Like, what are you doing? You're keeping up with the Joneses. You keep, like I said earlier on, cut a hole in its stomach or its arse, stick a K2 into it. There you go. It's done. DIY. Save us some money. What was that?
I did that to my nan's bear. I literally sliced the front of the stitches opened the back, put the K2 in, stilled the back up, just stitched it up, and just had the little K2 light showing down the front of the belly.
Is that the one I've seen you put up on eBay for $250?
Huh?
Is that the one I've seen you put up on eBay for £250?
The rest. Okay, no, my nan's bear won't go nowhere. Stay for me.
Gillian, I haven't used it since, Jen, for no reason other than we're a team of mediums. I'm not paranormal investigators, so we don't use the gadgets. That's true. That's Gillian.
You are your own gadgets.
That's it. Gillian loves that. Gillian loves that. Brad, we eventually will say, if I'm come over there, Jenny, we want to hit up a castle so bad. We have one or two in Ireland now, Brad. I'm sure I can find one for you. We are in Leap Castle and Redwood Castle on the 28th of April and the 29th of April. We are hitting up Redwood Castle on the 28th and Leap Castle on the 29th. It's going to be
That's your home away from home, Leap Castle.
Yeah.
It is. The Drogheda Museum is my baby. That's my home. Leap Castle is my other home. I love it. It's phenomenal. I can't even say how much it is. Mind blowing.
I love watching your videos when you go there. Oh my gosh, I love it. I get so jealous as soon as I see you walking up. I'm like, oh, I know where you're at.
Yeah, I stroll because I don't want to watch.
We will be going live in both locations in April. I will be going live. We will be in the museum, my favorite place. Before that, that is my.
In July, I've got toilet for a
Oh Jesus! I'm going to the UK in July. That will be. I'll be. Listen, a friend of mine told me a few days ago, I can get the bus over from Ireland to the UK. I could be getting on the bus.
How long will that take you?
Listen, as long as I'm not in the air flying, I don't care.
Yeah, because what is the air? It's like an hour, right?
Yeah.
Oh well, listen, an hour. Listen, it's 10 hours in my mind. 10 hours, and I remember getting up off the seat, going to the bathroom, and I was like, okay, the wine and the Xanax are hitting in. Everything's fabulous.
It's going to take you by bus.
Huh? What,
Literally.
Tracy?
I say it'll take you literally all day and evening to travel by bus.
There's a bar on the boat.
Oh, really?
I'll be good.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, when I went to the bathroom on the airplane, I realized, the Xanax hit in. I think it was a gin and tonic or the wine I had. And I realized, there's nothing underneath my feet. And then I went to the bathroom and I flushed the toilet for the first time. It took my soul with it.
Oh, that's funny.
That suction, that noise, I thought the inside had been just went, and I'm looking down. Can I have my insides back? The noise, I kid you not, the noise of the suction when you flush that toilet, because you're up in the air, so the air, I left body. I left my body. It was freaking awful. I went back down, and they saying, "Are you okay?" No, it was horrible. Some man in front of me handed me a piece of paper with the tablets his wife gets from the doctor. I said, it's okay. I'm already on Xanax. I'm okay. I'm on Xanax.
So Jen, I have that video if you want to show it.
Okay, have you got it here?
So I want people in the room that, rely on the ghost, on the apps. You don't need to. With a simple piece of equipment like this and the responses you get. And this was at the mausoleum with a cat ball.
Gillian, sorry, I'll play it up now in a second. Gillian's saying, and it is, I find Millmount Museum is my baby, my home. I went to my school tours there. Lep Castle is a place that I go to very often. It is a fabulous place, but I think Millmount would get jealous if I said Lep Castle was my home, because I know the people in the museum. But I do Lep Castle. I'm in it a few times a year. But yes, what Gilly's saying, at the convention, all the people's posters, half of them had Lep Castle behind them. It's a lot of people go to it, which is why I like my museum, because it's my team only, and people come with me are guests. So I pick and choose who I'll take in. And that's fine with the vice chairperson, who I know very well, and the committee. And my team has been doing it 6 years. It's just my team that goes in. And I know a lot of people say, Para Unity, let's share your location. No, I'm going to say no. I do take people in as guests, but we don't have it saturated, like Gillian was saying about Lep Castle. We don't have it saturated. I feel if other teams went into it, that I know the place so well. Will they get something from it? Will it make it worse? I don't know. It's just my baby from it. But I've taken many people in with me. Tracy was in with me. I've taken many people in with me, and some have disrespected it so highly that I have stopped doing it, and I will take them in rarely. And that's just the way it goes.
You have the right to do that, though. Like, even us as investigators, we pick and choose who we work with. Don't get it twisted. We do. Every single person cannot say, oh, well, I won't do this, or I won't do that, or I will do this, or I will do that. We pick and choose who we want to take with us. We pick and choose who we invite to private investigations with us. Now, I'll give everybody a shot. Don't get me wrong. I don't take what other people say about another person until I experience that person on my own. Now, if you disrespect the location or my team, or we don't just mix well, no, I'm probably not going to invite you again.
Amen.
Yeah.
So you have the right to say, I will not take somebody, or I will take somebody. That's your time.
That is it. And I have taken people who disrespected me. They've disrespected not the location, but me. And you can go into it. It's open at 9 until 5:30 every day. But after that, unless you're invited, it's not happening. As long as my the guy who helps us to be there, and he investigates with us, Alan Gary, he's the vice chairperson of the place. We're doing it a long time. I used to go there on school tours, and they're happy with just Emerald Isle going in. And I always run it by Alan. If I take guests with me, I run it by him. I don't own it, but I get a lot of crap for, well, we can't come in. You've been told to contact me. I will contact Alan. That's what Alan told me. It's not that I'm saying you've got to call me, you've got to go through me. Nope. You say to me, I'll say to Alan, and he'll say yes or no, or I'll say yes or no if I want to work with you or not. Simples. But if you're going to give me shit all the time, you can just mark even daytime off your list to getting into it. That's just the way it is. And I'm very annoyed when people come for me all the time about this location. And I used to say, no. Now it's kind of like, suck it up. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You've been there, Tracy. You've been there. And every time I do my lives, you watch the lives, you love that location too. Very quickly before I play Brian's video, I have Brad here. I have a fun piece of battery trivia for you.
And while he's bringing up that question, I was going out with somebody a year and a half ago, We went out on several investigations together, and we did several videos together. My last video of my second season on Paraflix, I was planning on putting up because we did capture quite a bit in this location. And I trusted this person. I trusted this person because we had been out on several locations. She had the same interests as me, the same goals as me, really to capture the evidence. Well, we did a video. I sent it to my editor. My editor was going through the video, and he found something that I found that I missed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very upset. I was very pissed off. It compromised the whole video. And so there was this certain part in this abandoned building that we were in, and I was facing the other way. And I was looking that way, and she was right behind me looking at my back. So when I turned around to look the other way, all of a sudden a rock was thrown. We thought at us, and it hit the wall, and it just came out of nowhere. So we were stunned. It was unbelievable that we had a rock thrown at us. My editor went through the editing, and he captured something that, again, pissed me off. I emailed this person. So basically what had happened when I turned around, she I don't know why she did this. She felt at that moment to throw the rock.
Oh no.
And she did it without, because there was somebody else with us. So basically what she did was she was like this, and you saw her arm jerk. When her arm jerked, you can actually see the rock hitting the wall. And moments before that, he captured the rock in her hand.
Wow.
That's just.
And so I was flabbergasted. I was pissed off. I was upset. Every emotion that I was feeling, I felt. And I emailed her. She denied it. We had pictures. We had video evidence that she did this. Wow. And finally, 2 months later, she finally admits she did it. She said she had a bad moment. She said it was a
silly moment.
A silly moment. Whatever. She said a lot of different things, but she finally admitted, I will never, ever go out with that person again. And she knows it. And I've told her. And I told her to lose my number and keep my name out of her mouth.
What she did in a stone collection?
What's that?
She do a stone collection now?
Well, I don't know what she did, but she had the excuse that she always carries crystals in her pocket.
Okay.
And it's like, okay.
That's fine, but I'm just saying, like, rocks and crystals.
So you threw your crystal at a wall?
Yeah, no.
And actually, in fact, my editor actually found it captured in the video as well when she picked it up.
Wow.
So it was and I missed all of it. Because I wasn't expecting her to do that.
You want to concentrate on how to do something like that,
You're not a babysitter.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, Jeff, earlier, that, we select who we go out with. And unfortunately, that was a misjudgment of definitely character. That's for sure. So.
We all do that, though. We all, like I said, I'll work with anybody. I don't fall into, the rumor mill, really. I'll take heed and understand what that person may or may not done to somebody else or doing something else. Now, if you have definitive proof that the person has falsified evidence or lied about the location's history or something like that, then no, I'm not going to take them on, an investigation. But if it's just like, this person didn't work out with this person, or this person did this or that, I'll just be like, yeah, you want to go? Let's go. I don't have a problem having someone investigate with my team. Let me find out for myself.
Yeah,
type of an attitude. Now, if the rumor mill falls true, then yes, of course, I'm going to be like, all right, we're going to separate different ways. I'm not going to bash the person. but I'll just be like, I'm sorry, maybe next time, kind of smooth it out, and then just drop them.
Yeah, and I told her right from the beginning, if your plan is to do what some of these other YouTubers do on your videos, we are not going to click at all, and that's my integrity is too important, and this field is too important for me to make a mockery out of it. And I really truly believe that people that are faking evidence are making a mockery out of our field. And I know there's some people out there that don't like the word field for paranormal
all the time.
And because it's really not, well, there's one person that really dislikes it being called the field because it's really not a field. But I would disagree with that. But anyways, and that's another topic for another day. Yeah, and when she did it, that was the end of the relationship, and the trust was broken.
Yeah, I've actually denied going on invites. Somebody would invite me and I'd be like, I'd make an excuse. But you gotta pick and choose and be very careful with working with certain people, I guess. And that's sad. It's sad that you have to kind of vet who you're working with, and being able to trust somebody to perform with professionalism, I guess you can say. And and it's sad, but it just boils down to who to work with through trial and error, I guess. And then once you find that niche and that group that is professional and work with you and have the same ethics, I guess, keep that group. And
that's brilliant.
I prefer solo now. I prefer solo, to be honest. And I might hook up with other people. I usually collab with other people that have the same integrity as I do and are looking for the same evidence as I am. So
I would count on one hand how many teams I would work with. And if they don't want to work with me, I am really okay with that. But there's a few teams out there I can count on one hand, and I wouldn't count all the full 5 fingers. I would like to work with, I have worked with, and I enjoyed working with them. I like the way they worked. I do. I mean, I'm going to say, because they're here watching, Mary's one of them. We were in Lep Castle together. And
my phone died.
Tracy's one of them.
That's what I was waiting on.
Well.
I got to pee.
Oh, you grant. So, and then there's Shawnee as well. I like working with Shawnee as well. But that's kind of like, I'm not kind of cutting other people down that I haven't worked with. I don't have to be up. I am who I am, and that's just the way I am. Some people like to work together 24/7. I'm just not. High from the goat. Is that another? Who's that now? Is that Jeff? I can't remember. What's this? I hope these stones came forward. Forward.
mm-hmm.
Oh, those stones came forward, Mary. Let me see. I want to get the game that Brad was going to do for us earlier. What was that? The battery trivia game I want to play. And it's Jeff. I knew it was Jeff. Hi, Jeff. And then we're going to play your video next, Brian, sugars, Jeff will come back on. I don't understand why people are disrespectful. The Spirit is not there to entertain us. They are trying to do a job, like I said yesterday, trying to compete another life lesson. They don't disrespect us, so no need for us to disrespect them. It's kind of like Billy Big Balls. They're going to locations and thinking like, you're dead, I'm not. Let's be the egotistical investigator, get our arse kicked, but act like an arsehole while calling questions out. It doesn't matter if the people who passed over were arseholes or bad people when they were alive. It doesn't still give you the right to be egotistical with them. And I think it's for show. I think it's for videos, whatever they do, or lives, whatever they do. And I think they want to act big, and it doesn't happen like that. That's me ranting off there now. I want to wait for Jeff to come back on so we can play his we can play your video. Brad, are you still here? I want to know what your trivia game is, because I'm so competitive that I'm going to win.
Of course you are.
I'm horribly competitive. Oh, let me tell you, I'm horribly competitive. There was something Gillian said here earlier. I think Who was it? Nando, how's your investigation going? I
Did they
think
go live? Are they going live?
I don't know. Nando, are you going live? Are you on a break? How's it going on? Nando's staying there overnight. But I think it was Eric that was asking about where's the Blarney stone? Blarney, I think it's something like that. Blarney Castle is in County Cork. Where's Blarney Castle? Where the stone is a medieval toilet. So everyone that kisses that stone, it is a medieval toilet. So they lie on their backs and they bend it over and they kiss the stone. So I haven't done it. I won't be doing it. One, because of the height, and two, because I'm not kissing someone's toilet seat.
It's probably not well suggested.
No. Jeremy and Nick. Is that Nick Muley and Mr. Jeremy York? Who's this now? Was once a groundskeeper at the Bel Air house. Where is that? Is that Jeff? So while we're waiting for Jeff to come back, hopefully he can come back. Tracy, what is your go-to piece of equipment?
Myself.
Simple.
There you go. Pretty simple.
I've always, it's always been myself.
Yes, I know. Yeah, you never use anything. I'm going to play the video now.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, that's it. Eric was saying, how would you like if I came into your house and started yelling, I demand you to show yourself? Well, let me tell you, I'll show you myself, but probably not in the way that they wanted. You know, I would
2 moons out tonight. 2 moons out tonight.
Yes, there is. Somebody came into my house telling me, shouting at me in my house, and I'm like, there's a big wall, call the door, walk back out into it. So here is our, not really a game, but a fun piece of info. 9 volts batteries only put out 6 volts. So watch 2 batteries last longer and put out just as much voltage. Oh, yeah. I want to say that thing. Is any?
So I'm paying. So we're all paying a lot of money for something that only gives out 6 volts, not 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you go to the dollar store and buy batteries.
Yeah, I've got chargers and whatnot, but I can't be arsed charging.
Yeah, batteries. You get chargeable batteries, probably your best bet, because batteries are so costly today.
I
was hoping Jeff would be here.
I think he's charging his phone because his battery was going dead. But we'll play it now, and we can play it when he comes back on.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to play it again.
I do.
People are going to get bored. You ready? Here we go.
Go for it.
So this was at a mausoleum. Nando was there. Sarah was there. We did this mausoleum. And I'll be honest, when I walked into this mausoleum, or this graveyard where this mausoleum is, it was, no pun intended, sorry people, it was dead silent. It was like quieter than quiet. It was like I wasn't expecting anything to happen. And I was surprised, to say the least. Here we go.
This is the video I was saying was quite good. Is it playing your side, Brian? It's kind of like not playing properly this side.
Light up the ball. Yeah. Oh, really?
Let me turn it up. Okay.
I just started. Can you light up the thing at the top of the step?
Do you like us unraveling your story?
What was the man's name that was buried here again?
Lawrence the short story. And she's Emmeline.
Lawrence was his first name?
Lawrence.
Yeah. If your name's Lawrence, light it up.
K2 went on.
If your name's Lawrence, light it up again.
Wow.
What was her name again, sorry?
Emmeline.
Emmeline?
Emmeline?
Emily? Okay, can you stop it? Is there an Emily here?
Emmeline.
Emmeline?
Yeah.
Is there an Emmeline here? Thank you. Is Emmeline buried here? Lawrence, are you buried here? Is it true that you were buried somewhere else and you came here to get buried here?
Yeah.
Are you two together?
Oh.
Wow, that's really good.
That's pretty
Immediate
good.
response.
Yeah.
There you go.
I remember watching that. What do you think, Trace?
Yeah. Definitely a good-
Huh? Oh, let me. Okay, that's gone. I'm gonna. What do you think of it, Trace?
Yeah, so I had to keep watching it because it kept freezing, coming back on, freezing, and then going back on.
Aye. I'm gonna see if Jeff. Is anybody hot tonight, or is it just me?
That's just it.
I'm very red in the face. am I?
No, I'm. It's usually pretty cold in this room,
It's hot here.
and I'm hot. No,
Is my face red?
yeah, a little bit in the cheeks. You can open your window there, though, can't you?
Yeah, I can. But then it's cold when I do it. Jesus, like here, am I going through a change? It's hot, but it's cold when I open the window. No, I'm not.
But what
doing
I
it.
like about that video is the very last question that I asked.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were more questions and stuff like that, and people asked, well, maybe if something was hitting it or something like that. There was a certain point in that session that we went 10 minutes without asking a question and it never went off on its own.
Very stringent, but-
So, yeah, and she's right. Jillian's right. You are sitting beside candles there.
I know. And my fire.
So, I really like the last question because, again, what I said earlier is, I think a lot of people ask the same question: are you two together? And to get that response was great.
I'm just texting Jeff here because I don't want to shut off where I don't want to shut off while he's gone.
Yeah.
So anybody else wants to add anything to the do's and don'ts of the paranormal? We have covered locations as respect going into it. We have covered if we see a big red sign saying "Don't enter," it kind of means don't enter. Don't take pictures and post them all over social media so people think the location is still open when it's not, and it's a building site at the moment as it stands, and that goes for different locations that teams go into when they're not allowed to. What else?
We pretty well covered it.
Yeah,
We
equipment.
pretty well covered it.
We don't.
This has been a long show. It's almost 2.5 hours.
I know.
I'm never on a show this long.
Well, you see, you just can't help it when you're good.
But I will say the first hour went by really, really quickly.
Out of that, Jen's having a hot flash.
It's always possible. It's always possible.
I would go with the latter. I would say I'm having hot flash.
Yes,
Oh,
I believe that too.
With an open mind. I do like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Going with an open mind.
Yeah, I'm one of those people also when I go on investigations, I don't necessarily want to know everything about that location.
Yeah.
Do you
So
I know other people, thank you, Anne-Marie. Do you think that going into new locations, do you not even look for a tiny little bit of let's just get a little grounding, but not everything?
yeah, I think I would do that. Like I would get well, on certain locations I just might want to know the basics. Meaning I don't need to know everything about it, like how long it's been there, what kind of spirits are there, what's happened there, what other people have experienced. Because really, I think if you're going into a location and you know everything that's happened there, especially spirit wise, you're going to go in focusing on that when you could possibly experience something different than anybody else has. So if you go in with the mindset of not really knowing a lot about that location, you might experience, like I said, you might experience something nobody else has. So,
Well, that's it. That's
yeah.
it. Like I know when I go to a location, especially castles, basically anywhere that has stone wall, and I have to always feel the stone wall. I have to.
Yeah, I'm the same. I like to feel, if I'm going into a house, I like to touch the outside of the house or touch inside the house right away. So I'm like that too. So
It's Louise popping in a wee bit late. Lovely, the American accent. Who's that now? Let me see who this. Who's Facebook user? Have I the American accent? Is it me?
Louise.
Who-
Hey, Jenny, it's Louise. Popping in a wee bit too late. Lovely
Louise.
American accent.
Sorry, I have to double check so I can say hi properly. Who's Louise? Is the American accent, is that towards him? 'Cause
well, unfortunately, I'm not American.
no,
I'm Canadian.
he is Canadian.
I wish I was American. No, I'm just kidding. I don't wish I was American.
That's terrible. That is terrible. Hi, Rosanna. I love to feel
I got so many friends in the States, so I love American people.
What was it?
I
Nando
don't like
saying
their
last
president, but I love American people.
night?
Hey, listen, before you get on me about the American president, I don't like our prime minister. So, you know.
Oh, sure, Ireland is just as bad, right out loud. Good Lord, Ireland is just as bad. Louise. Oh, Louise. Dublin accent. Well, we like the Dublin accent. I'm about 50 minutes from Dublin, I think. About an hour, if that. It's Louise. Louise from up the old north. Louise. Good crack. Louise, I think I have your video still here. Let me see if I can have a wee look for it.
Is Brad from the UK?
Brad is from America.
Europe?
Brad's from America. Yeah, yeah.
It's okay. We don't like our prime minister either.
Neither do I like mine.
No, ours are, it's okay. No, he's from America.
Okay.
Let me see what else. Let me see. I don't want to know about the locations. I want to go no preconceived.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel.
I'm going to look for the video now. Rosanna, we are doing good. We're on here.
Hi, Rosanna, there's my favorite person.
Hi, Rosanna. How'd you put up with Rosanna? Like, right?
Rosanna's great.
Huh? We have the live version of the Muppet Show for our government. Don't be bloody just. I don't know what they're doing.
And trust me, we have the Sesame Street of the government as well here, especially Mr. Selfie himself, Mr. Trudeau.
Chris, Tracy, who is our PM this week?
Oh,
Hmm.
Who is your PM?
I think it could still be Rishi Sunak, but to know it could have been someone else. I ain't turned the telly on since yesterday.
Oh,
You know,
really?
Oh yeah, they go through them over here, left, right, and centre, don't they?
Tell you, they're dropping in and out. Like, what's the woman's name now? And I should have her name, Gillian. Oh, God, Lord. Oh, my God.
The Scottish one, she's just resigned and all.
They're all dropping out. What's the oh,
That's
God,
true, Brad. That's very true, Brad.
Uh,
very, very true.
I'm trying to look for her. Hi, Mimi.
Oh wow, that's it. That one has an opinion.
Mimi, what do you think? You come up to tell me. What do you think? No, well, Mimi. Mimi doesn't like any of the government. Gillian, what's the lady's name now? Everybody loves her. Get her name. She's black hair, and I should really know who she is. Oh my gosh, I should really know who she is, but the name is just not coming into my head. And I'm probably talking about a million women, but she's like a fighter. She will get Ireland to where it should be on its feet. But I forget her name, so forgive that I forget. Who's this, Brad? At least he knows how to walk off a stage, unlike our president here in the state. Oh my God, Brad.
That's what I was agreeing with.
Let me look for this video. I hope I can find it. Let me see. Do I have the video? God knows what I have on this. I'm going to have to change this other side here so the background could change a wee bit. Okay, I think I have. Listen, I'll just play something and see what comes up. Let me play it. Okay, so this is a video, right? I do have it. This is a video. Mary Lou, that's the one, Louise. There you go, Mary Lou, Gillian, Mary Lou. That's the lady. I tell you, she needs to run Ireland. She's a fighter, and she's in the doll, and she stands up to so many obnoxious men who think because she's a woman they can talk and or talk over her, and she lets them know exactly. Sit down, be quiet, basically shut their mouths. This is the woman that we need her to, she'll sort Ireland out. She's brilliant. I knew it was Mary. I almost said Mary Nolan at one point. Mary Nolan would sort Ireland out. So this is the one from Louise, and this is from the north of Ireland. This is called the Ulster Museum. And it was this don't now, Louise, make sure I'm saying this right. So it's called the Ulster Museum, and it was built up by bricks not imported, now that's a silly thing to say, taken from some parts of Ireland, brought up to the north and built up there. And this Louise friend was in this church one day. Her husband and son was outside. So her mum couldn't make it. So she took a video of inside the church for her mum. When they got home, they looked over this video again. And that's when they heard something. A lot of people, a lot of teams were looking for this piece of audio or video footage. And I keep meaning to go up, but I'll hopefully me and the girls and the team, myself, Lou and Niall and Aidan, call them girls, we'll get up in the summer this year. But Louise, have a wee look at this video as well. I want to go to this place, hopefully now with a lot of us. But I'm going to play it. Let me know what you think. No.
What's all that screaming? Can't hear you, Jen.
Sorry, that's what nobody knows at this moment in time, what it is. I haven't been up there, which is I'd like to go up there with a recorder to check it out. A lot of people have their opinions on it, which is literally understandable. I mean, that's normal. But we don't know what the screaming is. We don't know what the talking is. I've listened to it.
Could the streaming be, I'm just throwing this out here. Could the streaming be like, it sounds like it could be an animal trapped? Maybe?
I wouldn't say so. It sounds like it's talking. I know some of the words that's being said.
Can you just play it again? Because it actually sounds like it's an animal that might be trapped, and that's why it's streaming.
Okay, have a look. Turn your headphone. Turn volume up. If anybody's watching it, listening to it, turn your volumes up. Stick headphones in. To me, I heard talking. I heard a few lines, but then
Where is this?
This is in the Ulster Museum in the north of Ireland.
Okay, so do you guys have raccoons out there?
No,
because that's the sound of what sounds like to be a raccoon that would be out here in North America. That's what it sounds like. I didn't hear the voice. I didn't hear the any words. I just heard like streaming, and like it sounds like streaming from an animal of some type.
Now that you say that, when I heard it, no one told me what was being said because no one could make out what was being said. But I had played it until my ears bled, trying to think. Brad has just followed you on Huntophobia, Brian.
And that's why I said thank you, Brad, earlier.
I'm a
Brad.
I'm a one-woman show. Doing it all on my own. Watch your kids. He's watching. That's Louise. That's
Yeah.
so.
See, Eric says, yeah, it sounds like a raccoon streaming.
We have no raccoons in Ireland.
Interesting.
So
So it's somebody said a banshee. Do you guys have
Yeah.
banshees out there?
We're in frickin' Ireland. Of course we do. Ireland is known for banshees.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I did not know that. So that's why I'm saying it.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
let's not forget, I'm Canadian. I'm not from Ireland or Europe. I'm not from the UK. Sorry, I had to say that. Nando, if you're still here, buddy, I had to say it.
I tell you to just bust my balls. If I had anything, it would be busted now. I
So
tell
play
you,
again.
look, you have a sense of humor. I swear. Did you-
Yeah, I do.
I'll be sending the banshees over to you, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Brian says, okay. Anyway, okay, let's go get it. I'll send the banshees over to you. Okay, hold on. Nope.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. Very, very creepy too, to be
I
honest.
know, but a lot of people think, is there a recorder or speakers in the church? She didn't hear anything when she was there. She heard nothing, which is why when she got home, a lot of teams wanted this piece of audio. I think the newspaper wanted this piece of audio and so on. But I did say to Louise, if you bring it to too many, I mean, it's okay. It can be bombarded with teams. It's a museum you can go in by daytime. So I'd like to go there with the team and have a look at it, have a feel for it.
Yeah.
And so it's not that far from us, you know.
Yeah. No, it could be an animal that's trapped and streaming. And you know, the way the animal stream, it could make it sound like there's a word coming out when there's really not. And you know, but I think I tell you, I'd love to be there, and then I'd love to go
Well,
there for God's sakes.
In the summertime, I don't see why me and the guys can't go up.
Wow.
We can meet Aidan up there. I'm actually going to check, see how far it is from us. It's not that far. Let me just double check it anyway.
I will say that if it's an animal or something else, it's definitely creepy.
Well, God knows what it could be. I mean,
yeah, but you know, I know what Facebook users saying definitely not in a chapel, no raccoons, and I get that. But remember, sometimes animals can go through the roof and get trapped in the attic or whatever small little attic is there. And I will tell you that if that is what's happening, with it being in a chapel like that, it's really, really going to echo.
yes,
a lot. It's going to echo a lot. So
Yeah.
it might come out sounding like words, but it's
Yeah.
really not.
Well,
And
it's only about an hour and 13 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
So we will be making a journey up to it. Louise, would she have heard it screaming? I would say so. I would if you think it's an animal and it's in that church, and you would hear it. I'm sure you would hear it because it's quiet. She's just walking around. I'm sure.
I'm assuming the person that was filming heard all this.
No, she heard nothing.
She heard
No.
nothing.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's different then.
Oh, she heard nothing when she went home to show her mum the inside of the church. That's when they got all of these things happening.
Okay, so if she didn't hear it, then that raises a lot of questions.
Yes.
See,
oh yeah.
would have been nice if he would have told us that at the beginning.
Yes, Brad, I'll do that. I'll send that on to you in Messenger after. Yes, I can do that. Louise, you're still here. Do you have that on hand, Louise, in Messenger that you can send it on to me?
Yeah, I'd like to have that too.
Okay, I'll send it on. I shall send it on to you, no problem.
And I can put it through some software to get rid of a lot of noise.
Okay, yeah, to bring it down a wee bit.
Yeah.
Okay, Louise has it on hand, so she'll send it on to me, and then I can send it on to you guys without me having to.
Did you say that at the beginning? That she didn't hear it?
No, she didn't hear it. No, she heard nothing.
No, what I'm saying is, did you say that at the beginning before you played the video? That or maybe I didn't hear you. Because Brad said she did tell us at the beginning.
I did say it. I did say
Okay,
it.
I didn't hear you say that. Sorry.
Thank you, Brad, for listening.
Sorry,
Brian.
Sorry. I apologize. You know, when you've been dealing with Jenny almost every other day for the last 9 months, yes, things start getting tuned out quite quickly.
I should know how to work in time.
Ever since Jenny joined the Global Ghost Hunt, it's been every other day or every day we talk.
Fun, hasn't it?
Oh, of course, it's been fun.
Fun. Brian texted last week, me and Nando, you know, hey, you used to wait for a few minutes at 3 a.m. So I text Brian the next day, sorry, I was doing this thing most people do, but we don't do enough of, sleeping. So
wow.
I
was wondering when you were going to bring that up, because I can recall several times that you guys have messaged me at 1 o'clock in the morning, my time, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning over there, or 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock there. So many, many, many times. And for example, the night that we did the calling out, or we did the voice recorder.
That was a brilliant night. I tell you, I took a picture. Sarah and Nando sent me a picture of themselves the next day, and I had a picture of me up, and I did a poster with the three of our faces the next day saying, "Don't touch alcohol, kids." We were bad.
That's why I don't drink.
No, don't.
That's why I don't drink. Yeah, I don't drink. That's one of the reasons. I know Rosanna will back me up here.
Rosanna, Shuddy. I tell you, when you come up to Ireland, you'll be having a Guinness.
Who?
You.
No.
Oh, listen.
No, I don't drink.
Oh, you should try it, though. You've got to be, when you're in Ireland, you've got to try it, the Guinness. Ray, Tracy's husband, Ray. I know Tracy, Miss Tracy has to go in a second. I'm going to send those videos on to Brian. I'm going to send it on to Brad. I'm going to send it on to Eric. So Louise is going to send it on to.
Oh, everybody froze there for a minute. Or is it my end? Everybody's frozen. Tracy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think Jenny froze.
Yeah,
I think she's frozen. Thank you, Rosanna. See, Rosanna said yep. She'll back me up. So how you been, Tracy?
Okay. What happened?
You froze.
I mean, let me tell you, I'll be giving a little phone call to my new provider on Monday. God bless whoever answers that phone. You don't want me on it. Seriously, you don't want me on it. It's Christian from the Guinness. Brad is good.
Jenny is from the Guinness. Are you drinking Guinness?
No, I'm not drinking Guinness. I have my.
What are you drinking?
I have my water.
Oh, there you go.
I have my water. Jen is leaving. Going there now in a few minutes. Louise is saying here very quickly, plus my friend isn't a big believer in God. She's a lovely person and know there's something there. But you can hear at one stage it's saying it's weak, it's mine. I thought I heard saying it's me, it's her.
Well, it actually sounded at one point as watching you. It sounded like I heard.
Yeah.
I definitely want to review that for sure.
Yeah, she didn't hear it.
And you know what? It's very wow. That is a caught in camera video right there.
I know. There is one bit at the beginning of it that in what looks like a confession box, and it looks like something's on the floor. And a few people thought it was a recorder.
What's going on with churches? Like, I go to church around me, it's abandoned, and I go in there and I've captured so much stuff in this place. I even walked in with two buddies I brought, and as soon as we walked in, I caught on the microphone camera, "Get out, assholes!" Twice
from the church.
From the church.
Well,
it said it twice. Now I've been there before on my own. And it's told me to get out. It's also said Brian several times. And yeah, it's just what's going on with okay.
Church?
Okay.
Okay.
So I just what's going on with churches?
I do not know.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
I
mean,
love abandoned churches.
Me too. Aiden doesn't like me in abandoned churches too much because of how I call out. Of how I call out. But listen, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. I ask my questions. Tracy knows.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Brad, by the way. Yes, I do.
He gets the emails personally.
Yeah.
Watch your kids. So I'm going to send,
kids.
Louise, will you send them, will you send that video to me? I'll probably have it in Messenger. Let me see if I have it in Messenger here. So, Louise, where are you, Louise?
Somebody's not very happy that she's there.
No. Let me see if I can find this video that I can send.
I don't like to use the D word, you know that. But that voice, if that is a voice, it's very angry.
Oh, I have the video here, guys.
It's very, very angry. I have lots of castles. I couldn't help it, Brian. Yes, thank you. He's always on me about castles because he knows how much I want to go to a castle.
Yeah, Chris, I'm sure we can spare him a castle or two between Ireland and Scotland. I'm sure we can. We'll bring him to one of them. I would say more Banshee than demons. Ooh.
I'm not going to say demon, but I'm going to say that what it's ever there is very pissed off.
Yes.
Sounds like he was getting tortured.
Watch the beginning of it. Something silver's on the floor. Well, they think it's silver. I'm thinking it's a can. It's an old can or whatever. Watch the beginning of it. Well, I'll play it one more time before we leave. I'll play it one more time. I know
please.
Tracy has to run. I'll play it one more time and then we'll Nope.
Good Lord.
It's cool, isn't it? I heard watches, and then it
sounded like said watching you do it.
Why? That's just scary stuff. It's freaking. We're gonna go up to it in a few months.
Can you
check it out?
I just can't get over the fact that she didn't hear any of that.
No, she didn't. You see the way she's walking around. And that beginning of the video when she opens up the curtains like to the confection box.
What's that on the floor?
I think it's rubbish.
I thought it was a water bottle or something like that.
I thought that too at the beginning. Yeah. Yes, Chris, I'll send it on to you. I'm writing down a list of names I have to send this on to.
This is something that like it's long. It's long and drawn out.
Are they talking to her? Are they talking among themselves? Is it residual? We don't know. I mean, we will go up to it. I know I'm saying that a long time, but we will get up to it. It's only about an hour away from me.
Well, I hope you capture some good stuff there.
Hopefully. I mean, I will do hopefully maybe a little live from it, but just to show you around the place and anything else, because it's a museum, so it's not I'll go up, we'll feel it. I'll take a recorder with me when I'm doing a tour or when I'm walking around it privately.
That's the kind of stuff that you would have nightmares about.
It would be in the daytime we would be going up.
Like you could actually have nightmares about that.
I think it's deadly. I think it's freaking awesome.
Well, of course it's awesome.
I'm going to send it on to the team as well so they can have a look at it. So we can go and it's not too far from Aidan either. He's in Belfast. Louise, I was hoping that you would be here. Yeah, we're going to go up. It's about an hour and 13 minutes away from us. So
is that your new member? Is that your new member?
Yeah, that's Louise. Louise is a bit of a historian as well. She has fun, she looked up a fantastic location, and we're going to some place. We're going to a private place.
I think I just have to move to. I think I just have to move to Ireland.
What do you have to?
I want to be a member of Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers.
Oh yeah, I stuttered there a little bit. Could you remember me?
No, I didn't stutter.
Come
it's
on.
It's just very long.
We'll just do
It's a very long name. But no.
It rolls off.
Yeah, but you've been saying it for how long now?
6 years now. Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers.
Yeah, it's a long ass name.
My brother drew that logo, so it is original. Let me tell you, it is.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with Brad on this one. It sounded like my ex. It's what it sounded like in the mornings with my ex.
Oh, that's lovely. You love your ex.
She's. You know what? She's a great woman. She really is. She just wasn't great for me.
I'm sure she's great for someone else. Deborah, psychic medium, got in contact too. Oh, she did. She wants to fly over. She said she only came across this about twice in her life. She's the only one that was on good. Yeah, I know her. Yeah, Good Morning Britain. That's a long time. Good Morning Britain. Hello. How many years ago was that? I used to watch that before I used to go to school.
Is that the one that Piers Morgan's on?
Oh gosh, no. Good Morning Britain is back in the bloody 90s.
Okay, so what is he on right now? I thought that was Good Morning Britain.
No, is he on that, Louise? Good Morning Britain. I know back in the day.
No.
What's Piers Morgan on? He's something in the UK. Good Morning something.
It was Good Morning Britain.
Good morning. Good morning.
They got he had a row with one of the other cast or something on there.
Yeah.
And he stormed off.
His mind. He spoke his mind. He said what he thought. He said,
"Yeah, I see him on TikTok all the time with his things about Meghan and Harry. He's not too impressed with the new book."
Did you watch Netflix? Did you watch the Netflix on them?
Yes, I did. And at the end of it, I said, "Well, there's several hours that I'm never ever going to see again."
Oh, I was kind of I was roped in a little bit. What do you think, Tracy? What did you think of it?
I don't know what to make of it, to be honest.
I'll be honest and say I agree with what Piers Morgan said.
Yeah,
there's some things we just don't need to know.
Yeah,
and that's where it should stay.
Yes. Yeah.
So I didn't, I understand why he did it. But there's a lot of stuff in that book that probably was unnecessary to put in that book.
Yeah.
I didn't read it, but I don't really need to know. And I think most people out there really didn't need to know that him and his brother don't get along at all right now. I didn't need to know that. Nobody needs to know that. But this is a guy several years ago that was talking about the media causes a lot of problems. Well, you know what, dude? You are now part of the media because you wrote a book. So, I think it's and that's true. But again, I'm going to go back to the fact that, there was a lot of stuff in there, or a lot of stuff being said right now, especially on the show, that we don't really need to know. And on top of that, there's a lot of news reports out here in Canada of Prince William's affair that he's been having for the last several years. So,
really?
Yeah, so, yeah. He spent Valentine's Day with his mistress, not his wife. That's going around a lot here.
Is she having her fourth baby? She's having her fourth baby. Yeah.
Kate?
Yes.
Is she?
Isn't she, Tracy? Yeah, she's pregnant.
Pregnant, is she?
Oh crap.
I don't know. I don't play that notice of him.
Who's saying this? Louise, I miss him. He made us laugh, kicking off all the time. Is that Harry? I like Harry though.
Yeah, saw the Royals. I'm more interested in spirits. Yes, me too.
Oh, you said the Royals. Who's that? You said the Royals.
But you know what? We're getting a lot of that out here because obviously Canada is part of the UK. So, as a British colony. So,
yeah,
as Lex says, the Britons own Canada. The Britons own Canada.
I know. And that one night he said it as well, and I was like, don't say it, and he did. When he said that, when he was on about that Canada is owned by Britain, and then he was mentioning other places, and then he mentioned Ireland, and I said, "Don't say it, don't say it." And he
Oh
did.
God, I love Lex. I love him. He's
he
one
knew.
of my.
I could see I could see that little glint cheekiness in his eye, saying that she's going to get annoyed now. I'm going to say it because my face was expression. I'm like, "Don't say it." And then you could see him stop for a second, smile, smirk, and then say it. He said it. He said it.
Oh God! So I guess Jeff's not coming back, is he?
No, Jeff just mailed me. His phone died. But that's grand. I will mail him now. We are going to end this live. It has been almost 3 hours.
Yes, a lot of fun.
3 hours. It has been fun. It's been great conversation, great open discussion, great name calling out. I'm in trouble probably now. I'll probably get a few mails now tomorrow. Okay, Louise, thanks a million. Send it on to me, please. I have it here, but I have to go through it again. But if you send it on to me, I can send it on to them easier. Thank you so much. So I want to thank Rigger from Scotland's Paranormal Investigation Group. We have Brian Laverty from Global Ghost Hunt and Huntophobia Canada. We have Jeff Colleton from Crossover Research. We have Tracy Day from Afterlife Research Team. And then we have me. Research in the night.
Last but not least, we have
me. Thank you, Chris. Thanks so much. I will be back on. I'm on tomorrow night. Not my show. I'm on AJ's show tomorrow night.
Oh, Talking with the Source.
Yeah, I'm on Talking with the Source tomorrow night. And then I'm going to hibernate for a week because I'm so tired. And then I have a fantastic show next week. Whispers in the Night. Steve Parsons up with us. And then I am on Bonkers on Sunday. Myself and Nando Bolton Bonkers on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
We are busy. We're busy.
Yes,
I am flushing a lot. Yes. Thank you so much, Bill. Thanks a million. Rosanna, thank you so much. Eric, rock on, Eric. And I'm going to... I don't know what I'm getting. Hold on a second, will you? One Jenny on her show by herself. Right. I'm going to bring us in the background. I'm going to play the outro. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, sharing. You'll see my face somewhere tomorrow night. Again.
Good night, everyone.
And Brian, you'll probably see it every day, all day. And Tracy's always with me, and so on and so on. Anyway, so we'll bring us in the background and we'll talk to you later on.